going to be the main part of
it? There's a lot, man, actually, to be honest.
Okay.
Oh, as we come to life here at twitch.tv/Conspiracy Horseman, back in the saddle again, infidels. It's Hacker Hamin and Big Stevie Cool, because the assassinations, the vaccinations, the piss poor education, infatuations with Satan, with global nation taxation, fiber optic, microscopic, biological, germ mad cow burger on the market. I'm the captain of this starship. I never departed once I started, infidels. And we're on the journey to the end of the road. Doesn't matter if wrestling goes up or down, we're still going to be here talking about it all at hackerhamin.podbean.com, twitch.tv/Conspiracy Horseman. It's the Friday Veteran Locker Room. Yalla. Yeah, good morning to you. Good morning to you. We're here, declassified, ultra kayfabe version, taping Thursday for the Friday Locker Room. Happy to be back up and at it. Actually got a little sleep last night. I don't know, but off my production schedule, man. I know I've been getting Impact Attack out late. It's just that's the amount of business that keeps coming through in my windows, so I don't even get time to edit. So thank you for not blowing me up too bad. Where's the Impact Attack? But it was an awesome Impact Attack this week, you guys. A lot of fun with Too Woke Ted, yeah, and MSG curving his hat, and flattening the curve this week. So a lot of good talk outside of wrestling and good breakdown of that show. So hopefully it's in your feed for this morning. If you're a subscriber at Hacker Hamin on iTunes or Podbean, or if you haven't subscribed to Hamin Media Group on there, that's our affiliate channel with tons of great shows on there. And shout out to Dr. Ted making awesome thumbnails over there at YouTube Hamin Media Group. I look at that channel, I get jealous. I'm like, shit. Yeah, he's doing so much already, but I'm going to have to up my thumbnail game. But we'll either pull our thumbnails out or smash them with a hammer by the time this news day is all over with, because it's deep. Deep like the blue eyes of that handsome Stevie Richards. Fall away into bliss in Stevie's eyes.
Too hot for Instagram, apparently, too. Getting banned by WWE.
Yeah, Instagram. He's too goddamn good looking to be on there.
Once again, I can't even get. They won't even let me get over on my own Instagram account. They have to take me off Instagram like they took me off TV. Yeah. I think from now on, after last night, one of the best episodes we've ever done. People say maybe the best one we've ever done. And like I said last night at the end of the show, that's a great indication that we're getting that more often than not. It means we're moving in the right direction with all the content. But we had Stevie Ray on last night, and we got to revisit our friendly little beef when Vince McMahon back in January 26, 1997, called me Stevie Ray as the BWO wrestled on Raw when the ECW invaded. And I just laugh about that because it actually broke the ice between us. You know what I mean? Sure. And I'll just let everybody into the locker room, since we let them in a little bit every Friday. I made the point too, and I understood this. And Stevie's not a malicious guy anyway. Some people rib you maliciously and you kind of take it a certain way. But Stevie, with this continued rib for 23 years, I've enjoyed every second of it. And if the boys are not busting each other's balls, if they're ignoring you and leaving you alone, you should be worried. When someone's teasing you, that means you're in.
It's those great brotherhood moments like that 23 years later where you can just play that trump card and drop that rib, and we both have the same understanding. Color doesn't matter. Push doesn't matter. Where you are on the card doesn't matter. None of that. It's those moments that are the aha moments of the laugh that can go back and still come back around full circle in a callback. I love that stuff, and it was great to see those moments between you guys last night. And, I don't want to try and put anything on Stevie Ray where he has to toe the Black Lives Matter, all that whole line where he's got to stick up for that as he phrases his answers. I love the fact that, not that he's against any of that, not that he doesn't have to live life and hasn't had experiences that you and I probably would never have lived through or ever will, but he is just, it's like that cocoon. They take their skin off and you see the golden child inside, you know what I mean? Or what have you, that energy, that soul energy. when it doesn't, none of that stuff that's all the predicated shit that a lot of performers or what have to toe that line. You're dealing with a straight up man with a worker opinion who isn't going to pull any punches, and he's going to deliver it to you in a fatherly and big brother kind of way, man. And there's not a lot of dudes out there who can deliver like that on their shows. So he's got something even more special, and people don't even really know, because Booker T was more the front man doing the crazy yells and shit, and he's the big brother, swole brother in the back doing it. But the reality is his mind and delivery, he's a front man too. He just had to play the B player in the scene most of his career, right? So to get to hear and see his opinions, it's awesome, man, to be able to partner up with him like that. And I'm excited to see where he's going to go, because people are just going to grow as human beings listening to that guy. That's just some real wisdom every time he opens his mouth. And then you put that big bassy voice behind it and fucking 68-inch chest. You better shut the fuck up and listen. So
yeah, but he's not an intimidating talking at you type person. And this is the thing. How about the fact that we had Stevie Ray on for we probably would have had him on longer if we weren't trying to keep the show to a certain time and he had his own content to create. So you had a black guy on, you had, you have a Greek, you have an Italian, you have a guy who plays an Arab, you have a giant, and race didn't come up once. We had real high level issues to talk about. And even if race did come up, Stevie Ray's presentation and the thought process, the thinking out loud that he does, always ends with an open-ended question or an open-ended thought. And I said it last night after he got off, and when we talked too, just his presentation, his style, his pacing is so ready for that long form conversation a la Joe Rogan 3-hour podcast. And he could do it on his own, because those pauses make you digest. Mm-hmm. Those pauses make you think. Those pauses, more importantly for the host, enables him to think about the next thought or statement or all these stuff. And that also, the theme of him doing that might subconsciously have someone say, maybe I should just pause for a second and think before I say the next thing I'm going to say.
Sure.
And it's just amazing. It was, it taught me a lot, and he didn't even know it, about how I need to be a better interviewer, a better co-host, a better person asking questions and things like that. I mean, there's little nuggets and Easter eggs in there that we all can learn from.
Absolutely. Then now it makes me even more inquisitive about him. Not like we didn't see his entire career through WCW and know who these guys are as part of Americana. Absolutely, we do. But now I'm like, man, you know how well Booker T is. He doesn't really care either when it comes to criticizing the product. He's got into WWE, made that crossover, became beloved there. The car rides those guys must have had and what they discuss. And then that takes it a step further, where I think, forget wrestling. These are just two men with very high IQs. And what were their parents and I should have asked him, and when we go on his show, hopefully soon enough, I want to ask him that about even though you may have come from a very tough generation, his parents and grandparents, they must have been highly intelligent people. You don't, just because you're a wrestler and a worker, think on that level just because you are. I know plenty of dumb fucks in this business, but that's something that kind of can't be taught, aside from what he talked about and how to teach thinking. But somebody had to do that to them, which means their parents were highly intuitive as well. Maybe not, I don't know the education level, but that doesn't matter. When you're talking to somebody with a high IQ, you just know where they're at in the thought process, and that just is in every sentence that he says. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and if it wasn't passed down through generations, and that incident, not much the incident, the conversation, it wasn't anything confrontational. If his meeting with those Lebanese people when he was in Beirut or any part of life, I forget, it was in Beirut or just in Lebanon, if he was like we were up until a certain point and just not really clued in, but had it in us, And that was the turning point in his life. And then he took the accountability and the self-responsibility to dissect the information for himself. That's even more impressive. That he had the life-changing experience and ran with it and never looked back. I think the funny thing is, I think Stevie Ray is kind of at the same point and has been as Russo has been, and as I'm getting more into, is if you're going to interview, if we're going to have a conversation, the very, very last thing that I want to talk about, if you're interviewing me as a new podcaster or something like that, is wrestling. I don't want to answer the same exact questions about wrestling. Let's talk about other things. I think Stevie Ray is kind of that guy, like, my time's very limited. I'd rather address these high level issues than just talk about like you said, he doesn't even want the Harlem Heat music in his opening.
No, in the right in the beginning, I think our first or second conversation where Russo had introduced us and we're talking on the phone, he's like, Ben, I don't give a shit about wrestling. I don't watch it. I don't want to talk about it. These marks come on, they want to ask me about this, that, and the other. You know, I might answer a question or two, but I'm not doing no wrestling shows. And I go, I fucking love it. You know, like, let's get high level opinions out there about a multitude of things, and especially in a racial time of turmoil. Nobody's going to say shit to that man. Nobody can question that man's credentials when he says something.
I wouldn't go that far. We live in bizarro world, man. Well, you can say it to his face.
You ain't gonna say shit to his face. Nobody's got the nuts to put that down, because, you know, whatever anybody's truth is, he's not like he's out here towing a line. He's towing a line as one man, Stevie Ray, not trying to represent everybody else, even if he has to. But when he does, he's not going to pull some fucking soundbite out either. He's going to let you know on the real what's going on, man. So
I might have to push back on that. I might have to push back a little bit on that. People are stupid, man. Like the internet and social media, and even in person. I've seen many videos. Like I was watching a video from Steven Crowder walking through downtown Austin, which is pretty much just like LA now, boarded up, shut down. But they were doing the change my mind thing about Black Lives Matter. And this guy was a huge guy, and this little Antifa Black Lives Matter kid, who wasn't black, by the way, is in his face, like, saying shit to him and telling him all this stuff. Another example, which is even more egregious, that I think is it's a what the fuck moment, is you have a lineup. I think it was Chicago or New York. It might have even been Minneapolis. So I don't know what city it was. It could have been Portland or there's so many cities where this is probably going on, and it's so stupid. You have the white Black Lives Matter Antifa people lining up and facing off and getting in the face of black police officers. You already know where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Calling the black police officers the N-word when they're there to fight systemic or systematic racism. I mean, this is on video. So when you say nobody's going to, now you'll probably step up and do something. You'll have a different result than the black police officers who just stood there and took it. But I don't have any doubt in my mind that someone is stupid enough to tell Stevie Ray he has a wrong opinion about the life of a black individual living, especially in the South, and that person being a purple or green-haired white person telling him he's wrong about his life experiences. Do you agree with that?
Unfortunately, I have to agree absolutely with that. But then also in my mind, I fantasize that scenario.
I want them to do it. I want them to do it to Stevie Ray, because
I want him to get hit with the Harlem Hangover, right?
Yeah, and I don't want. Well, I've taken that. It is a shoot. It didn't even air. I'm so pissed about that. But dude, my only other hope is that the cameras, that the CCTV cameras that are around that incident, if it occurs, they do what I call the Jeffrey Epstein, and they go out just for that time.
Oh shit. I mean, just an awesome get, and love the business crossover Russo brand, and, you know, just as many Steves as we can handle on one show. And that should just to me, man, while I'm sitting back and shutting up and letting everybody talk, I'm just like, you know, not that I haven't put my grind in, and I don't want to sound Mark Out moment style, but I'm just like, here we are, WCW, ECW, Indies, Improv Olympic, all together talking conspiracy. I just flashed back to 2001, 2002, sitting in my shitty apartment in Chicago, writing blogs and vlogs on improv, and the world's falling down around me, and like all my wrestling's my only escape in life before I'm ever in the business or anything. And like now here we are, you know, and I just have to sit and be like, wow, pretty thankful for all the hard work I put in. That like that shit's pipe dream to me in 2002. You know what I mean? You know, it'd be awesome to have a podcast someday with ECW and WC. And here we are.
Talk really about wrestling. It's like 7th on the list.
Right. Well, that guy back then would have wanted to only talk about stupid wrestling, but
I don't want to be interviewed by that guy.
No, I've 18 years drummed that shit out of him. Oh shit, man! But a good times, great oldies. Very happy to be doing biz across the board. Thanks for everybody who's going over to Hamin Media Group. Okay, man, it's early. And signing up for our YouTube Hamin Media Group. We're trying to get those digits up to 1,000 so that can start generating a little ad rev. And if you guys can do that, we really appreciate that. It's just a click for subscribe. Russo brand numbers on his are going up. We've got a lot of videos loaded all weekend long. We're gonna be turning some on. You know, the micro content, give you a little bit extra there. So thanks for subscribing over there, you guys. What else we got going? Oh, I got to put over Tech Meme Podcast. I listened yesterday, and Brian McCullough, the Tech Memes Ride Home, man, kind of popped me. Like he's got to read the headlines, but there's so much shadiness going on in Silicon Valley and Apple and the video game world of them, you know, doing deals and you know, or not doing deals, and that creates huge ripple effects. Brian McCullough gets his little shots in without without trying to like toe a hard line or bury somebody. He's a pretty funny dude, man. So not only are you getting the best in tech news, you're getting not satirical. I don't want to say he's doing it satire wise or anything like that, but if something's an aha moment or something seems shady, he's not afraid to put
fanboy.
No.
Well, he sounds like a real person. Most of these, I used to do a bunch of tech reviews. That's what was the format of my old channel. As a matter of fact, I still upload them, especially when it comes to audio and video and stuff like that. But I hate, dude, I was around some of these YouTubers that are supposed celebrities. You want to talk about fucking indie, and these people do not deserve the celebrity they get, but they do it because they're Apple apologists or Android apologists, or they're just, you know, fanboys to the max, and they don't call the real stuff going on. And I know Brandon McCall is probably like getting little higher level. We see the digs, and I'm just guessing because I haven't listened to this episode yet. Like, you know, Chinese slave labor and this and that, and little things about Apple's shadiness as $1 trillion company, the anti-Trump narrative, the SJW narrative, you know, maybe there's a little bit of Black Lives Matter infiltration with the Marxism and the communism to keep the China machine going. All this thing. Am I off base with how this kind of interweaves with the?
He does that, and then he'll even give like quick tips like who somebody big, real big, and Amazon is investing in rack mount, which is specifically a server rack. You know what I mean? Not the servers itself, but they're going to be building a whole new thing. Like, can you get in on rack mount based off of what he knows for a quick turnaround in the next 3 months of an investment? Like, that news isn't really hitting, except maybe a byline on whatever else. But here he really looked at it, dude. So I was impressed with it as I did my Stevie Richards Fitness. He popped me a couple times where I was like, this little dude isn't afraid to take jabs at the insiders, man. So it popped me. Tech Meme Podcast, the ride home, 15 to 20 minutes, very digestible, especially to clear your palate from a bunch of wrestling bullshit and make you feel a little bit smarter of what's going on in the tech world. But they've been sponsoring us all month long, so we appreciate them. And you guys go give them a follow and let them know Hamin Media Group sent you, because we're doing business together across the board. So it's awesome. Shout out to Michael Davis. It's his birthday this weekend. He's pumped to be holding it down with the Friday Locker Room. PW Hustle guy. He's not the only birthday this weekend. We'll see. Yada yada. Stevie, anything else before we have to dive into all this, man? The deep end.
Well, what do you want for your birthday besides Planet X?
That's it, really, at this point, man. Just
I don't think you're going to get
concussion. Like at this point, that's
dude. You know, there was an asteroid that they. I love how after the fact, hey, by the way, there's an asteroid that was so close to Earth. I mean, I don't. I know you're saying that it's part of the gravitational pull of this entire system, which that's also is that sort of a Mandela effect? Because recently I've heard it was initially just Nibiru, just Planet X, just that the Anunnaki coming back from their planet. This planet's elliptical orbit is now in the 3,500 year orbit and coming back towards us and going to wreak havoc. But now you said something was interesting, and then I followed it up. It's an actual system. There's more planets or more things or moons that are along with this planet.
Yeah, that's usually what gets seen. So you don't usually see Nibiru. I mean, not like I know this is all hypothetical of what I've studied, not even hypothetical of pictures that I've looked at from the Southern Hemisphere, where it seemed to be a year or two ago more visible at certain times.
Like two suns type thing, because it is a red planet, right?
It's a red planet, and then what looks like the devil or wings coming off of it is just a massive debris field of planets that's destroyed, and whatnot. That's how much debris that it carries. These meteorites or whatever that are being trailed in its wake of hundreds of millions of billions of years of destruction. Then there's a brown dwarf sun that's with it, and then there's a blue moon that looks like an ice planet, like almost the color of your eyes, to be honest with you, the pictures I've seen of it when people can capture it. So there's 3 planets in conjunction, maybe even a 4th moon that obviously hasn't been stooged off to us, but supposedly, in what I've studied, it's not going to be a direct impact or anything on Earth. It's going to be 5 million miles away. However, that debris field and gravitational pull of that is plenty strong at 5 million miles away to tip the Earth's axis. We talked about last night a strange weakening all of a sudden in the polarities of the gravitational field, and more radiation got through out of nowhere. And then I haven't looked at the videos, but Jacob Israel is going off right now on everything from black holes and supersonic things lining up, anomalies. I got to watch some of the stuff. There's things that are taking place right now that are very, very odd. And even a black hole system was acting very strange of what would cause that. Big gravitational and polarity shift pulls.
Yeah, for something to go over on a black hole, that's got to be pretty powerful.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting, man, to keep an eye on it. But that's where we can talk about all the bullshit that we talked about last night. Not that it's bullshit, but all of that is so small compared to the reality and gravity to let you know that you're so minute, that in this universe that you really are so meaningless, because there's a whole system that can come in like a cue ball and wipe everything out in one swipe that was built for thousands of years. In one day, whoosh, gone.
Well, the thing, I mean, the term one day, I know what you're trying to say, but I got to push back a little bit more on that. What? When you say we're all meaningless and this and that, you got to explain a little bit about that, because you can make your life meaningful and you can change lives and help people. And I'm just saying, when people hear that, it's like, what you're saying is, like I said last night, social media and the internet have given people a really, really inflated sense of self-importance. Now, when you need to keep yourself in check, that's kind of what you're saying, and realize there's so much more going on in the world. Not, I'm meaning, well, maybe you do mean you're meaningless. Go fuck off. I don't know.
Dude, right there, spear cross, ant, meat, boot. What is an ant to us? So insignificant. They don't know about car payments, mortgages, and shit like that we've got going on. Our worlds interact. All they see is this giant thing that will take their life, that they can scavenge your crumbs off of us. That's the exact analogy. The Planet X it's over. And you thought you were so important in the hive underground and supplying for the queen. Done. Like, don't even know the existence around you that can fucking eliminate you. The sense of self-importance of like, everything's going to be fine. I've got a house and a car. Nothing can hurt me. Oh, okay.
Yes, that needs a major paradigm shift. We need to get out of consumerism, get out of all these different, like, tired old tropes, to use Cody's phrase, that we're in, like where we're fighting over like worthless paper, and then even things like gold that are only determined to be valuable by someone in an office in New York or another stock exchange. And,
well, it could have been determined valuable because of the Anunnaki. So no, to come.
Well,
back.
there's a whole nother DNA attachment to gold as well, but it's really just indoctrination when you're talking about money and things and other stuff. And my friend Mike Sanders, you know him from WCW. We were talking yesterday, and he actually, he's going to be on my wife's podcast, but he was like, you know what? He was actually supposed to be one of the original members of the Russo brand 6 years ago or whatever. But believe it or not, like Vince and Disco couldn't sync up. So Disco ended up being a part of the lineup. Sanders ended up doing his own business, but he was like, I really would like to kind of start my own podcast again, or maybe we'll work together or do something. So it was kind of a cool thing. I forgot my point now. Holy shit. He was saying the pandemic taught him like he had perspective before, but this gave him a very clear perspective on how much he really needs in life. Like, he's been going back and forth between Florida and Atlanta, and he's in Florida, and he's like, literally all we need is 2 suitcases full of whatever, me and my daughter and my girlfriend, and we're good. He goes, this pandemic really taught me, and also not going out to eat, trying to provide for myself, cook my own food, learn these skills that I don't have to depend on a restaurant or other places to provide it for me. So that's kind of like, if that was multiplied even by 1% of the population, we'd be in a lot better spot right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be interesting. I'd like to see him plugged in, and obviously an open invitation as well to any friends for Conspiracy Horseman or Hamin Media Group who'd want to do that. Shout out to my Baphomet shirt in the chat from the Alley, Chicago. Stevie, I'm a big Satanist.
Is that still in existence, or did they get canceled too?
Yeah, they're gone too, man. They took that corner in Belmont, legendary.
I was joking. I didn't know.
I think the alley's gone, man. To be honest with you, it was getting torn down over there. They were putting in a mega Target on the corner of Belmont and Clark, and dude, is just from what it used to be the bohemian trans hooker neighborhood with the cool comic book stores and all the cool shops like this. Am I a Satanist? Absolutely not. If I saw Satan come up, I'd punch him right in his goddamn face, turn around and punch Jesus too for being a pussy. I think
they would team up on you. I'll be there to pull them off you.
I'll let them, because they go over so strong on people all the time. That religion ruined the world. I wear this just to get reaction, because I am a heel who likes to fizzuck with people, man. But Alley was an awesome store. Bought a lot of good stuff there, shirts and whatnot for friends, just to rib them as well. But I love all that Illuminati symbolism shit, because it exposes it, and then people say, what is that? And then we get into a conversation that they never wanted to have, and I break them out of their safe little worlds. So shout out to Baphomet, big-titted goat men with wings and a fucking horn. I guess that's
he was the guest of honor at the Gothard Tunnel ceremony.
Yeah, he's killing it there. But yeah, Allah, man. I guess we got to do it. There's plenty of headlines to get through. We'll start right up top, man, where I am. It's not a good one. Buff Bagwell, believed to be under the influence during serious car accident. Former WCW wrestler Marcus Buff Bagwell has been hospitalized with serious injuries after a car accident earlier this week. Cobb County government website said that Bagwell was transported to Wellstar Keniston Hospital with injuries on Sunday. Investigators believe that Bagwell was impaired by prescription meds during the accident, according to the report. The Cobb County Police Selective Traffic Enforcement Program (STEP) unit is currently investigating what they call a serious injury traffic collision. The accident occurred this past Sunday, August 16th, 5:18 p.m. on Cumberland Boulevard, east of Cumberland Parkway in Cobb County, Georgia. Investigators say a black 2013 Chevy Tahoe was traveling west on Cumberland towards Cumberland Parkway. When the driver lost control while negotiating a curve, the Tahoe collided with the center median and metal fence within the median and then continued west across the eastbound lanes. Oof. The Tahoe, driven by 50-year-old Bagwell, then collided with a curb before colliding into a freestanding bathroom at the Cobb County Transit bus station. Stay tuned for updates as the collision remains under investigation and Bagwell remains hospitalized. Not the stuff that Buff wants to be involved with, I'm sure, man.
Oh, that accident happened right near where I live. You're talking about Cumberland Parkway. I know exactly where that freestanding thing is. I would assume it is, he might have been at the mall. There's a mall there, Cumberland Mall. I think that's where it was. It might be another completely different part of Cumberland Boulevard and Cumberland Parkway, but I believe that was close to where we were. Not to say, the reason why I say that, I mean, this is something also that has happened in the past with him driving and getting into accidents. Remember, he had the really bad accident years and years ago. Do you recall that?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It might have been more than one, as a matter of fact. I think there was a time where it was very concerning. Oh, you're muted right now. Can I hear it?
Check. Yeah,
you caught up now. Okay. So this is the thing. And everybody knows Bill DeMott. I always think about this when I see stuff like this or hear about it, whether it's a wrestler, entertainer, or just anybody else. Bill DeMott lost his daughter to a drunk driver that drove head on and killed her. This is just a kid, maybe the late teens, early 20s. Mm-hmm. Just a kid who hasn't even lived her life yet. And in this case, Bagwell's in the hospital and he's hurt. But more times than not, when someone's driving under the influence of either pills and we don't know, the investigation has to come out, but I'm just talking about his history of driving and these accidents occurring. And also just the weird ending when someone's driving drunk or driving under the influence of anything. They usually kill one or a bunch of people around them, and they come out of the injury or the accident unscathed, or at least survive it, as Bagwell has survived it. I don't know. There's no news that he injured or killed anybody, which thank God he didn't, or thank whoever you believe in, just to keep it a little PC, but and a little bit of levity for you, Vin.
Yeah, Ford Motor Company or whatever. Thank to them.
But in all seriousness, I just think to myself, also, the reason why I say this, and I just think about it and get a little bit emotional, my wife goes over that way and she shops. My wife goes over to that area and she's out. If this motherfucker hit my wife and killed my fucking wife because he was fucked up on pills, God help you.
Yeah, you're going to be doing 5 to 10 because the Glock's going to go pop at that point. And it's a
I'll be right back. Go ahead.
No, it's all good. Fucking, I mean, the reality of what he's doing, and this is 2 months removed where we saw some other cameo video where he's fucking, dude, looks like he got his ass kicked by Mike Tyson, lips blown up, purple, black eye, just making slack-jawed, making bad choices, obviously, in his life. Who knows if he just took a header on the front lawn into the sidewalk there, or, if he got his ass kicked because he's in the wrong part of town looking for, opiates. There's a lot of what ifs in this, and it's tragic to see anybody in wrestling going through it. But at this point, a guy like that, and even in the day of Uber, there's no reason to be out there doing that kind of shit. But here it is. You can say as hypothetical as you want. He's going into a curve. Does he half pass out? You know what I mean? Hit the median, went over it, went into the next lane, then hits a bus stop bathroom. Is it concrete? Is it a porta potty? I'm not sure. But dude, this to me is all right, you're too up on gimmicks. I've seen guys sew it out at shows before, absolutely. And they just are drooling on themselves and they can't even keep their head up. to me, that's what kind of sounds like this accident is, to go into a median and jump the gimmick that way. And like Stevie said, thankfully nobody.
All right, man. I'm sorry. I go
No,
hug and kiss my wife, but that
no apologies necessary. None.
Jesus Christ, man. I mean, I mean, I innocent until proven guilty, but the fact that if it does come out that this is true and this and that, and I mean, I just think about that, man. I mean, it's just
because they don't know. Because and Buff should fucking put over that A's got a problem, and that kind of shit is, you know, there's no way to like justify it to even start with, especially in the day of Uber and whatever else is going on. A guy like that, there
How
should
about
be
calling your friend Stevie Richards, who lives about 5 minutes away, and say, "Hey, man, I'm in a bind. I need a ride." You know what I mean? I would do it because not only am I saving your life, but maybe probably a bunch of other people's lives. And that's the thing, man. I fucking, and once again, I just want to be as fair as possible. We don't know exactly what happened. We don't know. But if you have any kind of awareness or self-awareness that you may not, you know, and Buff is a nice guy, and I consider him to be a friend, but he'd not be any friend of mine if he killed my wife because he was under the influence of anything and decided to drive when it was very easy to get out of the situation before it even happened. And I referenced Bill DeMott again. His daughter's never coming back because some stupid motherfucker decided I'm okay. It's only 2 or 3, or I've done this 4 times and I've gotten home fine, or I just don't give a fuck about anybody. Or there's this deep-seated subconscious thing, and I don't know if you mentioned it when I walked away. These guys think, like, is there a disconnect between the real world and your character? Are you really stuck in this fantasy world where you think because you're over that the consequences don't apply to you, the rules and laws don't apply to you, that there's no real, and there's still not any real consequence to this point of rock bottom for somebody that does this thing repeatedly?
I think he's definitely trapped in it because he got to that point, and then WWE, it never paid off in the dream, and he's stuck there. Every time you see him, sunglasses, top hat with airbrush, right? You're never seeing Marcus Bagwell talk. It'd be like you showing up with a half cut off shirt and Daisy Dukes on for every show that we do.
Well, he is a nice guy, and when you get through all that, you know, you got a real genuine, sensitive person. But it doesn't cancel out what I'm saying earlier. It doesn't undo that, you know. And in the wrestling sense too, like, you know, the reason why we do the show and we talk about these things is because we're going to have an honest approach as 2 men talking about it, not even 2 wrestlers. So there's some strange fucking sickness too, where somehow, like, my reaction to that would be, or even commenting on it, is you have heat with Bagwell. I'm not saying that will happen, but you've seen these weird occurrences where I'm thinking about, God forbid, if that's my fucking wife, that you go across the median and you kill my fucking wife or a loved one, or if you or anybody, Luke Hawks is in town working on a project. What if he hit one of my best friends and he fucking killed him? So but you have heat because you came out and said something to a guy who had a bigger push than you on TV. I'm not saying that's the way Mark would act. I'm saying that's the way the general locker rooms and the stupid bubble that the guys and girls live in. Am I off base with any of this?
Not even an inch, bro. You're right on base. You are the base on this, man. And a tough story to kick things off with, emotional and whatnot, but we see you want to talk wrestling with tragedy. Holy shit, they got another story this week, right? Yeah. They went 3 for 3 with the Sonya Deville attempted kidnapping, this, and with the $1 Million Man, his kid getting everything pretty much yoked from him. So it's a straight in the time of, you know, madness in our industry. Of course, it's going to echo that as well, and the unstable are going to get it. Go ahead.
I want to fudge 420. I just one comment. I mean, I know people are going, they got to be the most horrible feeling in the world knowing that you killed someone over something so stupid. Then don't fucking do it. Repeatedly don't do it. I have no sympathy for anybody that does it even once, when you have Uber, you have Lyft, you have, like I said, people in the area, including myself, that can help you. I cannot have sympathy. This is the most, I said it to you yesterday, this is the most preventable crime, the most preventable death that you can have. This is an obvious choice. You can put sickness, illness, disease, or anything you want in it. Drinking can be a disease, drugs can be a disease, but the choice you make to get behind a wheel and turn the fucking key after you put it in the ignition, put it in drive, and do that, or even just be out doing it when you could be in your home drinking and not ever have to get into a car. No, you feel bad. How do you think the person who fucking just lost their wife, husband, son, daughter, brother, sister, best friend feels? How do you think the person feels who got killed? They ain't feeling anything anymore. They're buried. And now you put an emotional, a spiritual void in the family, as well as financial stress because they have to pay for a funeral that they might not have been prepared to pay for.
I watch some World Star, I watch World Star every day to unwind a little bit, but there was some Schadenfreude shit that this judge who, in some lower court, and it was a DUI, what have you, and the family's there, and then the mother of the girl who had the DUI, who's a trash bagger too, like the way the judge was talking, this black woman judge seemed like a little ghetto, but not. She's a judge, and this Karen, racist white lady, like half smirks and laughs. She's like, "Are you kidding me? These people lost their lives over here, and you're gonna laugh in my court?" She gave her 90 days right there to the county jail for contempt and that kind of shit, man. Like, people just aren't taking life seriously if it's not their own or in their own little bubble of what the consequences for their actions could be. And you see it even if it's not pills and drinking and driving, bro. You want to talk the other one? Every day if I go out, I see some 20-something girl, both thumbs on the fucking phone while driving, looking down. Not just like they'll stop at the stoplight, look up, it goes green, they look back down and hit the gas and go forward, and they're back to texting while driving, bro. Both hands.
Yeah.
Like, they're just, it's unreal, man.
You got one of these things too. I'm not making any excuses. You can use Siri or Google. You can use text or voice to text. Not that that's any better, but you can hit a button on your steering wheel on a new car, send a text to Ben, blah 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 blah. As you're what? I mean, it's not perfect, but once again, that's an obvious choice or whatever. But that's an epidemic and a disease every bit as much as drinking and driving. You're right.
We're here in 10 years from now. We're not even going to have this issue anymore because no one's going to have a steering wheel. You're not going to be able to drive your car. None of this is all golden father to be like, nope. They wish that, like, Ford and them wish that a celebrity would kill somebody drunk driving so they could push this, through quicker,
I think that's on the conspiracy side of it. They're almost like lie hops.
Yeah.
Let it all happen on purpose, and then you'll be begging for us to give you this and take the power away from you.
You got it. So you can be on your phone constantly and not have to worry about it. And for those 19-year-old girls who are addicted and clueless to it, so be it. Take it right out of their fucking hands.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, I brought everybody down with that.
Not at all, man. That's how the locker room is. Fucking, if we got to a locker room and somebody said some shit, and Buff was fine and came back and was acting like nothing's wrong, he'd get fucking promoted just like that. I don't give a fuck who it is. You know what I mean? Like, this type of shit is going to get talked about. That's why the Friday locker room, it's not the Friday news read, WrestleZone headline special. It's the fucking veterans in this bitch saying what the fuck we would say if you guys weren't here. Except there'd be a lot more cocksucker and motherfuckers in it probably. WWE pulls several documentaries on Bret Hart. Several older docs focusing on the WWE Hall of Famer have been quietly removed from the network. There's no word yet on what led to the removals, but PW Insider points to how the documentaries may have been pulled if they featured footage of the Hitman from his Stampede wrestling days. While WWE owns the right to Stampede tape library, Hart owns the rights to his matches from that library as he purchased them from his parents, Stu and Helen, before they passed away. The same issue with Hart owning his matches has led to several complete episodes of Stampede Wrestling TV being pulled from the network shortly after they were added in 2015. Since the removal of these episodes, WWE has only used matches from Stampede where Hart does not appear, as the two sides were unable to come to an agreement as usage of Hart's matches from then. The following documentary is removed: Bret Hart, Best There Is, Was, and Ever Will Be, 2005. Heart and Soul, the Hart Family Anthology, 2010. WWE's Top 50 Superstars, Greatest Rivalries, Bret vs. Shawn, Bret the Dungeon Collection, and the Most Powerful Families in Wrestling. Weird.
I have an idea.
Go ahead.
He just exposed Hunter and Shawn for fucking with The Rock.
Absolutely. It's absolutely that, right? What else could it be aside from them wanting it and not coming to a price? The slash back from it, the petty shit.
Well, it could be that they didn't come to the agreement, but they didn't want to come to the agreement because he opened his mouth about that, and Hunter might have been like, put the hit out to say, nope, not going to do it. Because that would affect Bret in the end, that his legacy's not up there on the network.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, definitely. I don't think he's just holding out for money in this. This is definitely some vindictive shit. Because why would you pull that stuff? You know what I mean? Unless he was threatening to sue because those matches were in there and he just wanted back pay on them. But I mean, what is the network? Think about the network.
Money for Bret is about 3 or 4 down on the list.
Yeah, yeah. And even think of the network now, how that was the everything, right? When we were going to stock price and all that kind of change. You want to focus.
They're getting to you now.
Something. There. Yeah. So that very well could be it. If you didn't listen last week, Bret stooged off that Shawn was a complete cocksucker, shock, and Triple H to The Rock, and that's why they never worked together and shit like that, as The Rock became bigger than Shawn as he tried to hold him down. And now here we are a week later with this going on. Interesting.
On a moving forward to current times, I think that history might repeat itself with Randy Orton, with the way Shawn no-sold the RKO and the punt. Like, I would not want to do any business with him at all.
Yeah. Well, Society 858.
That's yeah. Go ahead. I didn't think about that. That's interesting. Go ahead.
Buried Orton's finisher because Orton's been trashing NXT. The click hasn't changed a bit, dude. So,
ding dong.
That's it right there, dude.
Yeah, and you know what? I brought up Ciampa and Gargano and those guys. If anything, now they drew a line in the sand, and now they're more Shawn guys. I thought that they would be like, he didn't sell that, but yeah, that's got to be it.
How about last night? You see that clip? Gargano taking a terrible bump right on top of his head, bro. Like, the guys who need to be protected the most are fucking getting just destroyed the most there because they're marks for themselves, man, and getting their shit in to represent the yellow brand, dude. Like, scary shit. But every time, just because
someone was trying to do a fancy ass power slam, though, the way they did it, like leaning back, they tried to do it like Orton did it and jump in the air, time it perfectly, instead of just doing it like a Road Warrior animal type thing. I scoop you, we both go over and land flat.
Mm-hmm.
He was trying to be too fancy and he was too green to pull it off.
But they want to do all this fucking hype it up shit for the least amount of money, the lowest audience that WWE has, only for their own edification on some shit that no one will ever remember, dude. And now this guy is probably got another devastating concussion, number 60, whatever, on his way to Benoit brain, bro. Like, I've worked with Gargano, easy, quiet guy to work with, fun enough. But dude, him and Ciampa have got to stop this shit, dude. Like, it's brutal to watch them kill themselves for nothing, for literally nothing. The worst time in wrestling, where it's cementing no legacy for them whatsoever, and they just keep on working that way. That's gonna crush their brains and break their necks.
I agree. I just don't know if he actually injured or he just had a stinger or he was just lucky in general and might have a sore neck.
Yeah. Yep. Dude, right here, Spear Cross. That match last night should have stopped. He clearly has bell rung. Why don't we do that more? Why don't we go into the reality, take the phony into the real and just stop something, especially on a show that's already pre-taped and classic standby match. Like, you know, why don't we have one ready to rock and roll in case of that, man? Why isn't that built in? Oh shit. Whatever happened to a simple elbow drop?
Ding dong.
That's what I'm saying. Brian Myers responds to feedback after blasting Vince McMahon during Impact Wrestling segment. Hawkins, Impact Wrestling star Brian Myers, formerly known as Kurt Hawkins, aka Major Brother Number 2, took to Twitter this evening and defended his controversial comments made during Tuesday night's Emergence Night 1 edition of Impact. As noted, Myers blasted WWE Chairman and CEO Vince McMahon after interrupting an in-ring promo by Willie Mack, which was set up Myers and Mack for next Tuesday's Emergence 2 episode. For those who missed Tuesday, Myers expressed frustration for being fired by WWE while his wife was 6 months pregnant during COVID-19 pandemic. He said he always played by the rules, but that got him nowhere in this business, but fired. It disgusts me that major decisions in this business are being made by some out-of-touch 70-year-old man in some goofy production meeting, Myers said as he continued the promo. Myers then declared he's taking his career and business into a whole into his hands. He says, "You, Willie Mack, and all of Impact Wrestling have been put on warning." Ooh. I'm the most professional wrestler. Dude, that was the worst. Then Willie Mack attacked him. Like, he does a decent promo and says the real shit, and then he gets back into, because I'm the most professional, like the just wrestling 101 shit that's never going to sell a t-shirt and get him over, shooting on McMahon and is putting over that his wife is, they had us, and then right back into the bubble, bro. It was like so shitty way to end the promo. Let me see what he says in response. A lot of people on different wrestling opinions on what I said last night. Good, bad, or indifferent. Bring it on. I meant what I said. This is an opportunity I've never been given before, and I'm going to seize it. And I'll sit back and watch me do it. And they, you know, people, he put on a bunch of, he put a picture of JR interviewing Triple H, and then they took Jimmy Jacobs and put JR's hat on him, and they took the backwards cool guy leather hat from Triple H and put it on Brian Myers. That pops the shit out of me. But, you know, he was saying something, but then he really said nothing. And all the WWE guys in Impact, good brothers. Cliche promos 101, dude. Like, so nothing. Heath Slater, they wanted to bring him in as the new Stone Cold. He's a reinvented on the gas ass whipper. Now he's off the gas. Week 4, that's flopped. They're doing shitty little graphics. Hashtag Heath for Impact, green screen.
Yeah, it's a campaign thing. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you were in the Impact chat room yesterday. I appreciate you tuning into the Impact Attack. We had fun on that show, and it's always good to have you there. Like, dude, they spent all this money to get these guys for 10 shows, and now they're not going to do any business, not going to get over. In the first 4 weeks, they brought them in. They're restarting guys. It's just like, ugh. These 90-dayers, man. Like, I don't know why D'Amore and The Office mark for these guys, bro, when they've got a roster of indie dudes they could be giving that money to, who are already dedicated to them, who are doing better stuff on Wrestle House with character than these guys could even touch unless they were serious about being there for 2 years. Like, I don't know why D'Amore and Cyrus still play that game thinking it's going to pop the ratings, dude. Those guys fucking suck compared to everything else that's going on. Not as people or performers. It just sticks out that they're there for their own edification and a quick payday.
Yeah. And like you said on the Impact Attack, they won't call one person within a drive. That's okay. I'll let you filibuster again. I enjoy hearing that. It gives me the boost I need.
Yeah.
But I want to speak on the Brian Myers thing, which I think Brian Myers has been one of the most unsung talents. I compare him even more so than Zack Ryder as, like, I don't say this because of anything, but the comparison between my run in WWE and the way I was treated and what I was utilized as, Matt Cardona, Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins, or Zack Ryder, Matt Myers, whatever the name is, Brian Myers. They're the closest thing to me, because these are guys that are truly fans of the business, really want to do well, team players, were the perfect employees for the company. And didn't get the return, didn't get the chance for the company to make money off them. Let me put it that way, just like me. So the thing with Brian, though, that I didn't like about the whole promo where he sat down with Jimmy Jacobs would have been he's a very cool, laid back guy that can deliver a promo realistically if he just talked to himself. Like Vince says, he's a super cool guy. He seems super cool, super laid back. You need more of that because everybody else is screaming and mad, and it's going to be there. Plus the fact, what if he's not on TV next week? I would put these little, I would navigate this minefield of what if Demore and Cyrus don't fucking book me next week? I'd sit there in the promo and go, you know what? I'm sitting back, I'm looking at this, and like, I'm understanding there's a big influx of, yeah, I mean, whatever he's going to say. You got Good Brothers, you got Heath Slater, you got what we are called as WWE rejects.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna let the new toys kind of get their shine off them because I'm too cool for that. I'm too smart to try to come in guns a-blazing. I want to be Impact. I want to be here for the rest of my career. I'm going to sit back and watch and be smart and see where can I make the most money. I'm just kind of riffing off like, ad-libbing this, but he should have took the other, but we're here to dominate. We're here to do this. And he should have been like, yeah, you do that. That's cool. I'm going to sit back because I don't know none of these motherfuckers. I want to see what this roster is all about. I want to see where I'm plugged in, where I can make the most amount of money. That's a Brian Myers with the walking cane and sitting back. He's manipulating everybody without even doing a goddamn thing. And if he's not on TV next week, he comes back 2 weeks later and he goes, yeah, I wasn't on TV last week because I was watching a lot of film and I was doing this and that. You gotta they're not going to protect you. And he booked himself into a corner that he made promises that he can't keep. Does that make sense? Just like Ruby Riott does each and every week and gets beat. I'm going to punch you in the face, get beat.
He
I'm going to punch you in the face,
get
get
AJ
beat.
Styles. He could be the AJ Styles of there now. He's got that kind of same presence. Absolutely. Let's see. Nerdy Effect says Stevie, right to censor. Steven could hit this Stevie kick on Triple H and wins the belt. Would have blown the roof off. Stevie, why didn't you hit this super kick on Triple H to win the belt?
There was a 2 minute conversation. For 2 minutes, I was going to beat The Rock for the title.
Wow.
With the help of everybody.
I love it. I love it.
When Rock was champion, there was a.
You got hot yesterday when I excluded you from the creative team, Russo takeover of ROH, and then he wasn't ready. I put him in the Rip Rogers make him champ spot right out of the gate, and Man Beast and them pop big for that, dude. I think that would be a great thing for Ring of Honor. Russo come in, take over, clean out air out all the dirty laundry of those guys, push them out. New Day, and then Stevie out of nowhere, champ, dude. That would have people talking on a relaunch of Ring of Honor, dude.
Well, I'm sure there's a story where they're repeating the same mistakes they've made in the past. I don't understand that.
Yeah, dude. So The Rock kibosh that or what?
No. Rocky didn't kibosh anything from my understanding. Hey, listen, we just told a story about Hunter and Sean with Rock. If it was good business, I think I didn't. Here's the thing. With the shape I wasn't in, and my look and my work rate because of the extra weight, I can see why I didn't deserve it in a way, but it would only be a 1 week thing. I would get destroyed. It would just pop. It would pop a rating. And I think if I could have carried it and they've seen, okay, for the next month, the right to censor pretty much owns the show because he's the champion. So they're controlling everything now. So does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I think
it would have been the most amount of heat to get. Now, I think deep down at that point there was a lot of politicking, and I think Hunter wanted to be the top heel, and there was like you've seen in the comment. Like I said, it was probably a 2 minute conversation. I had heard, that was a possibility, and I could see that being a possibility at one point because Billy Gunn, I took the Mr. Ass name away from him. We were beating everybody. We're winning the tag belts, the Intercontinental title. I can see that being a natural progression, and I had the most heat out of the group. I'm not saying that there was a more than a 1% chance or a fleeting moment. It was a possibility. It was a pitch. But the cool part would have been, dude, if I had to, I would have won that fucking belt, and the businessman in me would have said, run straight to the back, put the belt over your shoulder, take a picture, and forever sell that 8x10 at convention.
Forever, bro. Forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
That's all I cared about. I didn't care about being champion. I was like, shit, when they fire me, that fucking 8x10 at every Comic-Con is going to be, it's going to be
50 grand right there. You just know that's 50 grand, right? Like that you're made with that.
Yeah.
Well, there's still time. You're in better shape than most of the roster now and can outperform them. Aiden English on Vince McMahon, thinking fans were mocking him with Rusev Day chants. Former WWE superstar Aiden English, Matt Van Holt, was a guest on a recent episode of Warren Hayes' show. Aiden was let go from the company earlier this year due to budget cuts as a result from the COVID-19 pandemic. He spoke with his runabout Rusev, was also released by the company in the spring. In the origin of Rusev Day, he discussed transitioning from the ring performer into a color commentary role. He says, if I remember correctly, the segment was called the Rusev Day segment. The mayor said, we're going to call today Rusev Day, kind of a throwaway line. And then backstage, Randy Orton goes to the backstage interview, hey, happy Rusev Day, ha, 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 and walks away. And that was kind of the first happy Rusev Day, and Randy was saying it in an interview. And then after that, you'd hear a small chance at the TV shows or the house shows, and it just kept growing and growing, and people wouldn't stop. Aiden also discussed how Vince McMahon did not believe the chants from the audience were authentic. He explained that Vince told Rusev that that the crowd was making fun of the term as opposed to actually investing in Rusev Day. He says, I was getting this from Miro, who spoke to Vince directly. He says, but yeah, to be fair, sometimes I can see the mind that is Vince McMahon is a very wild place. And so it literally could just be point face or what it was, or he could have been saying that to try to get to Miro, like make him angry and fire him up. I wouldn't put it past him, but there was always seemed to be this hesitation behind really pulling the trigger on anything major with us. Anyway, so I do take that as the kind of way it's been seen by the boss. So yeah, it was like, what else do we do to kind of show to people are into this? Obviously Vince not getting it, and it was half of what he's saying. Vince isn't wrong, but you're getting a reaction. The reaction, that's the hardest thing to do. Now you can form that reaction and do what you want to with it. Not a huge guy that I was ever super into, but I kind of was in his segments, not the Rusev Day stuff and whatnot. But here's Aiden English, and a Broadway caliber performer, vocalist, and he can get it done in the ring. As the theater nerd that I am, I've gamed this out, and I have it written in a file someplace as well on the other computer. But dude, Raw the musical, you do the whole fucking thing in a broken-hearted kind of way through Aiden English's eyes. And even this would have been a way to get Aiden English over, where when you and I are talking, that's fine. Let's say I'm Aiden English and it's from the outside perspective or your perspective. But when I'm talking to you, everything is in song. Everything is, and when you respond to me, it's even in song, but it's only through Aiden English's broken universe eyes. If we could have gotten a whole Raw like that, where there's scene work, but then you turn the corner and people are talking and he just sees them, everything is a musical. He's got to go see Vince, like everything. But once you condition the audience, by hour 2, you'd be like, Vince wants you in his office. You're like, fuck yeah, we're going to get to see Vince McMahon do a musical number through Aiden's eyes, but he's really not doing it. So you're, not killing the Vince character or what have you. And you can show the switch back and forth between those realities, and it would just be a Raw that would stand out in the annals of time if done the right way. I would like to write it, but I think Lin-Manuel Miranda would be, and that would also sell it to these huge theater world and could actually get WWE, the Broadway show up if we ever go back to the theater and whatnot. But dude, they missed a fucking mega opportunity in Aiden English by doing the musical stuff and really being able to bring in an outside piece. You only got to do one show, a one-off, and then maybe call it back at WrestleMania or something like that, man. But that would have been world news.
Here's the thing too with that's really interesting is even if it's not all singing, like you said.
Mhm.
I can very easily see. Imagine if Aiden English, if somebody really looked at his background and did it right. Can you imagine a pre-tape where people are talking and someone goes, "Well, what are you going to do in your match tonight, Aiden?" He steps away from them. It dims. There's a spotlight on him, and he sings like, dude. It's a production thing that made him instantly stand out and be over.
Yeah,
nobody thought of that. Come on, man. I'm not even on theater. I'm not even into theater or know about it, but I know that presentation of the singing monologue or whatever you call it, where the character steps off and goes into the into the song.
You're watching something real. He turns the corner, goes in the locker room, and you know it's through his eyes. And then you imagine all the dudes in there, from the Hurt Business to the Lucha House Party, whatever. They're all in a musical number where they're just agreeing, and we do a whole dance sequence and whatnot, but it's just in English's mind. And then we stop it and look back, and then guys are just lacing up their boots at the end. And we get these realities that are only his, so everybody else is protected. You know what I mean? But in that one episode, we get to see these hilarious and strange and Broadway, like you said, the soliloquy of "What do I do? It's my championship night," and he's going through his own hero's journey that way, dude. Like, it could have been great. That's one thing I hope that I ever get the chance to do. But a guy like Aiden English was the perfect conduit to be able to do that kind of stuff, man. Goddamn pal, yeah, like, it would have been great. This is kind of like a Muppet show for wrestling, or the whole nine. Strange things with the Velveteen Dream, where they're looking into the allegations, and now Triple H is saying there's nothing there, trying to protect them. Triple H has addressed the sexual misconduct allegations against Dream during his media call Wednesday. And seen in the video above, Triple H confirmed that WWE conducted an investigation in the matter and did not find anything that would warrant strict action against Dream. However, Triple H did not comment on the accuser, who claimed that WWE never contacted them during the investigation. He said, quote, "So obviously we take all these things very seriously. Allegations of misconduct of any nature we take very seriously. We look into it, didn't find anything there in the manner of what we're looking for, and we moved on. But it doesn't change the fact that we take it seriously. If there's something else, we'll look at it. We'll look into it." That goes across the board for anybody. We've already talked about it, so I'd rather just move on to other topics, he said on the media call that was also joined by WrestleLink's Nick Hausman. Had to get that in there in the fucking copy. Get his name over with game. And then what was the other part of that? One sec. Fans have started a hashtag Fire Velveteen Dream hashtag to kind of combat this as well, dude. So interesting that way. Let me see where it is. Nope, that's it. I clicked off of it.
Wait, so he was on TV last night, right?
I didn't watch NXT, but I think he might have been. That's why that hashtag started.
This is a weird. This one. This one is very weird in a way, because everybody else has, in everything, even wrestling, they've jumped the gun to fire people or cancel people when there's a hint, even if someone just tweets something, or like even Austin Theory photobombed in a picture, and this girl made a whole narrative out of it, right?
Yeah.
Is that pretty much, I mean, whatever the accusations, I just, like, you showed me the one thing that said he's creepy or can't help himself. He's just photobomb. We've all done it at wrestling shows at a gimmick table, ribbing the guy who's they're trying to take a serious picture or something. I don't know. Like, you do it all,
always I'm in the back.
So that's why this is so much different in a way, because there's a thread of messages, right? That's what I've seen in your group. There's a thread.
There was something about him smashing a car in February or some shit like that.
Yeah, he got into an accident like right after that happened.
No. That too, but then there was also like him taking a bat or some shit and smashing a fucking car window.
Oh yeah, before that, right?
Yeah. here's the other thing. Like, okay, I don't know him, never worked with him, but let's go off of the history. What's his gimmick? Pretty pseudo-sexual, androgynous. You know, when you're playing, when they say turn yourself up to 11, and that's where it is. Now you're talking about some weird sexual behavior that way. It makes me, the breadcrumb trail doesn't lead me away. It leads me towards things being probably true.
My other question about this is like that's what I mean. They're usually not this loyal to a talent.
Yeah, well, is this the Triple H clique, the NXT clique that was brought up earlier? Don't fuck with them, though. Whether it's Bret Hart but on the other side, Velveteen Dream's in with them, and they'll fucking protect them to the end.
Well, there's something to think about there too, because when I went down for the coaching, he was definitely like one of Matt Bloom's right hand people. Like he, and from what I heard from the people back there, that I'm looking at Al Plaza. The thing that I saw, and then people talked about, because the boys talked, they knew who the favorites are and stuff like that. Like Revival were pure stooges for Matt Bloom back in NXT. That's why they got their push. And Velveteen Dream had been there for so long, Patrick Clark, and he's a Maryland Championship Wrestling guy. So my friend Danny McDevitt, the people there, Bruiser thing, they trained him, I believe.
Yeah,
he was in that system for much, much longer before Velveteen Dream even debuted.
Even on Tough Enough, like they put
Tough Enough is another one. Yeah,
assholes out there who don't know him, and Chelsea Green were the only two that deserved to even be in that fucking thing. You know what I mean? They put all these other people who were never going to be anything in this biz and for a second. Now she's over and she hurt her ankle. And I remember the promo, he was cutting on him in the house and in the kitchen. They didn't know shit. They didn't know Ric Flair's fucking how many times he's won the championship or nothing. So here's a kid who actually does respect the biz. So he's going to stand out in a sea of fucking douchebag marks who just been handed something because an HR casting call from MTV fucking got them on there. And then once he's in with Game and them, maybe they want to protect him to the nth degree because he's their guy.
Yeah. There's a comment too about the Enzo thing. He been getting fired and he turned out to be exonerated, right? He was innocent from that, or he wasn't.
They had mad heat though for thinking they were over.
They hated him already and wanted him gone anyway.
Right.
So that muddies the water to a very high degree right now, because now you're talking about the carny business of wrestling. Now you're talking about a lot of different things, but also you're talking about the old carny, old boys network or whatever you want to call it, the politics of the business. But this here could affect your stock. So where you're like, there's nobody on the next conference call that Triple H is on is going to ask about this. I bet you they won't, because they know they'll never be on another conference call again.
Well, I mean, it's Nick Hausman. Nobody tells him what to do. During his recent
landscape mode, did he shoot it on cell phone in landscape mode?
He'll probably get fired from there soon enough and fuck that up too. During his recent appearance on the Bill Simmons podcast, Paul Levesque, aka Triple H, got into the weeds. Got into the weeds and revealed what Vince McMahon is like now that he's gotten older, and if he's lost a step along the way. Game said, quote, "He's a machine. It doesn't bother him. He's probably, given the circumstances, sleeping more than he ever has, but I still don't think he's ever missed a day at the office. Even when nobody else was there, he's still there, and it's just what he does. He still trains every day. If you go to the office, even at 1 or 2 in the morning, he's probably in there training. That's what keeps him going. He eats incredibly well and is just a routine and disciplined person. It's hard for some people to understand. When somebody's really driven to do something, this is his passion still to this day. He doesn't get up dreading to going to work. He gets up looking forward to doing it. And all these years later, it's still like dating a new girl in a way. He can't wait to get up and do all this stuff. It's awesomely inspiring. It's awe-inspiring. It really is. Transition over up to what relations like being a grandfather. Said he's an awesome man. They love him. He's busy and works all the time, but he's a funny guy that'll work and do all these things. But when he comes to his family and needs to be there, He's the guy that's right there. He's there for all the things they need him to do. He's there for the big moments, whether by video or in person. He's there. He loves having fun with them. It's funny and family stuff. Like he's an observer. He likes to sit back and watch them do things that kids do. He really just gets the biggest kick out of it. In terms of arguments and how they get along, we both kind of get over it quickly. You have moments and things happen and come up, and when we get past it and get over it, if it came down to it and meant the difference of my kids having their grandfather in their life or not, I have no problem just walking away. I'd walk away because it's not worth it at the end of the day. Family business is awesome, though I love it, and I wouldn't change a thing. Yeah, don't change a thing. Everything's going fucking great. What an ass kiss fucking thing that was.
Every time I hear about Vince with family, I think about Russo with the nanny talk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
Get the nanny on FaceTime to wish Declan a happy birthday. Right?
Yeah, exactly, dude. I don't know. Game, I just can't imagine. I don't know. He's right.
I missed it because I threw all that. I got to wade through all the bullshit. Did he say it's a funny thing? Because that's usually know when you're about to get the bullshit. Yeah, it's a funny thing.
It's a funny, I really do like.
Let me tell you something of vague answers.
Yeah. This one time, Renee Young on her way out of WWE. Looks like her time's coming to an end. The Canadian sports broadcaster will likely return to using her real name. Renee Good has been with Pro Wrestling Sports Entertainment Giants since 2012. The first news reported by Outkick.com, confirmed by the tape trader masturbators Johnson and Satin. During her time with the company, Renee took on multiple roles backstage, pre-show host, yada, yada, yada. Backstage, FS1, and whatever else. Married to Moxley. Could this be because of insider mole stuff? I know they were talking about bringing Mox back, but obviously with her on the way out, that's obviously not happening. Be honest with you, I thought she was rotten from day one, as rotten as she is on the way out. She got in with the divas. They all put her over. The thin-lipped bird girl look doesn't do much for me to start with, not to judge somebody by that. But as it comes to wrestling knowledge, love for the business, and everything else, she was just another pretty face pushed in there who really didn't do shit to heighten, explore, or even come close to what a Mean Gene could do to get somebody's character over. It's the lip service of the women's revolution, evolution, with a C-level player who will go down in the annals of wrestling history as completely forgettable and was given a job and kept it because of her relationship. That's pretty bang, bang, shoot, but that's the truth of how I see it.
You don't think that they would offer him like $5 million a year to keep them separated on different companies?
Maybe.
They get off on that, dude.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, it hasn't broken their marriage up yet, but they haven't really focused on breaking up marriages in a little bit. They tried to do the Rusev and Lana. They tried to do it. They always play these games. This is way back when there was an official brand split. They would put people on different shows. That's why it's so weird not having all these relationships in the company when they have a history of trying to break them up.
Absolutely. And the other part of that too is let's just throw her on commentary. Women's Evolution doesn't know wrist lock from a wristwatch, bro. But now she's got a fucking top spot when I can name 15 other people who should be there who can enhance the show. Instead, we got to have Blondie who doesn't know shit except for what her husband's taught her in the car rides. Never paid to do.
Well, this is what is it called? Equity of outcome or equality of outcome instead of meritocracy.
Yeah.
We need the, it's like they have now with Phillips, Saxton and Joe. It's kind of like we need different looks on commentary. So we need a woman on commentary. We don't need the best woman. We don't need a really good woman commentator. We just need a woman. And I wouldn't doubt if there's got to be a girl in that locker room that can talk and look decent on camera.
Yeah, you know what her
Or
name is? Her name's Mickey James, and she's frustrated following her comeback match. She says, "I feel awful."
I wouldn't call it a comeback. I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
she says, "I
don't
feel
call it comeback for all the wrong reasons.
I feel awful. I feel awful." James responded when Schreiber asked how she was feeling. And not because I'm hurt. I'm better than ever. You know, I've been off for a year and a half off WWE TV. I've been away, been at home. I've been rehabbing. I've been working my butt off to get back, and not just to get back, but to be better than ever. I come back and I come back with these goals and reclaim who I am in this business and really build my legacy. And the first person I run into is someone I consider a sister, someone I consider a locker room leader, a fellow veteran, and someone to help pass the torch and lead the future. But she's completely blindsided by Lana and this obsession with social media and whatever else. That's completely blown my mind. I didn't expect to lose my first match back. I didn't expect to come back and have someone I consider a fellow veteran act like a 20-year-old. My nieces have TikTok. They're 13. Come on. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. I'm so frustrated, honestly. Just going to have to go home, rest, reset, and refocus. Like, I thought it was going into work there, but I think that's pretty much a shoot. Natty is now doing nonstop plastic surgery. Lana's got a ton of heat on her and is on her way out, and they're worried about doing TikToks before their match where Natty doesn't know how to dance, and Lana's going to teach her how to dance like a shitty black girl, and fucking like that's what they do with their day now. Meanwhile, Mickey James been trying to get over the Monday Night MILF. All this was punishment from Bruce in the shit that went down with Magnus, and saying that he's not a money draw, which shows what a fucking complete idiot they are in saying that. The guy's a stud. He's fucking James Bond level leading man. You can put him right in with Drew, and these fucking morons got their thumb up their ass because they want to do whatever little heat thing. And then during her comeback match, which ends by count out, they have Seth and fucking Murphy come out, go to the table, and pull the focus completely and stay on it. They're not fooling anybody with what they do with their little vindictiveness. And this is her in the most worker way possible, getting some shots in. Well, and even this will come back on her. Even this will. They're that fucking stupid. The best woman worker on their roster, they're going to marginalize her that way in front of everybody based on some heat between the lead writer and a guy who's not even on your fucking payroll. How stupid and loose can you be with your product and not give a fuck?
This is where you learn a very hard lesson. Once again, that we all learn being in the wrestling business. You're not in control of anything. This isn't professional football where you can train, rehab the knee or whatever injury it is, come back and put up real stats and outperform and win the starting job. And even if the general manager is a prick, even if the owner is a prick, even if the coach is a prick, you really could overcome all that. It'd be tough because they'll even in football, they'll create a system that makes sure you don't hit your incentives or your money. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But this is an impossibility of no matter how, or a real possibility, but it make it impossible that no matter how hard you work and how good your ideas are, and what you want to do, and how much value you see in yourself, they will make sure you feel worthless in one night. So all her working out and all her getting emotionally and mentally ready to leave her family, she left her husband and a kid to do this. You don't think she's looking at that? Now, Mickey, this is what I'm saying, because I care about her and Nick. And, you know, I even had some contact with Nick off of the Bruce thing because I felt like he needed to know that there's people watching that say, dude, good job. And don't let these fucking people hold you down like they did in the beginning of TNA, where they put his picture up on the trailer wall and made fun of him. And he made a remark, I believe, and said, that's going to be a star, or that's going to be a world champion one day. I forget what it was, but it impressed me. So saying that, Mickey, you're actually an award-winning musical act, country singer, right? Mm-hmm. You actually have a name in the country music industry. I wouldn't even say using the WWE at this point would help you. I think it would hurt any outside projects you do, like I talked about in the MMA part with Raw Underground. If Colby or Hartnett or Joe Rogan or anybody even attached their name to that, it would actually devalue their brand. And I feel like, Mickey, this romper room bullshit, as Vince says, it hurts your brand. And in this day and age, you can create music, you can have virtual concerts, sell tickets to virtual concerts, have a Patreon page for your music. You can make even more money doing exactly what you want to do, much like we're doing in a different category. We are doing exactly what we want to do without having Bruce tell us our good ideas are not good, or I'll look into it or think about it, or a 75-year-old man now who doesn't know a good goddamn about a podcast setup or a way to deliver virtual or digital content or do marketing or social media is going to tell us that our idea of current news and culture is wrong. Get the fuck out of here with that. We don't have time for that bullshit. And neither do you or Magnus, Mickey. I mean, that's just my thought. You're wasting your time and devaluing yourself with these fucking carnies.
100%, man. And
the show needs to be brought up to speed, to your speed. You don't need to bring yourself up to the speed of the show.
Yes. You're already past them. It's just the fact, how do we produce what we want? How do we show our family of their stars? So how do they capitalize on it on their own YouTube series that is highly produced or something along those lines that is a fuck you to them that will end up getting them over to the level where they don't need the wrestling biz to edify them anymore. But just I mean, war game it out. How do you think it went down? She shows up that day. She's been working her ass off. Yeah, Mick, we're going to start this whole new program. It says Mickey James versus Natty on the sheet. Nobody circled C agent for finish, what have you. They give him the whole match, and then 20 minutes beforehand, oh, Vince wants this finish switched, right? Like, but the reality is Vince and Bruce plotted all this to get her up there, get her hopes up, just so they could fucking kick her legs out to fuck with Magnus. And then they're waiting to see if he sells online for it. And meanwhile, she's all pumped up, excited. They got the match ready to go. And then 20 minutes before they switch it, and she's got to take it with a fucking smile on her face because it's her comeback night, and gets fucked over fully. Might not even have known that fucking Seth was coming out.
I don't think she knew that part. I don't think they smartened them up on that. That just happened. They sent them out to do it.
Am I far off how that might have gone?
You're a little far. You say, what do you say? You only get about 20% of mileage out of it. The way they can get more than 20% is to tell her early in the day and let her stew over it.
Really? They would stooge it off earlier that they're
no, they'd stooge off the count out. You're coming back, you're going to lose by count out, but don't worry. And then Bruce with the Southern smile talk about this long-term plan, and it's all part of this or that, and make it sound like it's the best finish in the world and try to sell her that bullshit. But no, they'll tell her at fucking 12 or 1 when she gets there. That's the finish, and let her and Magnus go back and forth all day and give her hours and hours of torture to think about it. Does that make better?
Then she can come back and try and pitch a different finish. And they'll be like, nah, we got to go this way. Then they know.
But it's her first night back. So in a way, the old political structure, am I going to make waves my first day back? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, 100%, dude. 100%. All these tests for nothing, man. I feel so bad for her because I like both of them so much. Obviously she's OVW sister and like big sister.
She didn't get her entrance music either. She didn't get any of that stuff.
So, dude, pretty fucking brutal in the shitbag stuff that still goes on. And how do these execs at, what was it, SmackDown or Raw?
It was Raw.
At USA or Fox, who gives a fuck, not see that and come down on them like that, dude. Like, how can you? How could you? But shout out to Mick and Magnus, man. It's just you guys are, again, the nicest people in this shit get fucking trampled all over, bro. And they've wanted to do nothing but good business, help make stars, help train top women to be great wrestlers in Rip Rogers style. Magnus fucking carry a whole goddamn company on his back while he's being an executive producer and a champ and a fucking booking and talent agent. Like, and still, he ain't shit. Are you fucking kidding me? He's 10 times the man of half the fucking guys you got on your roster and he can do the jobs that those guys have never been trained to fucking do and perform at and excel at. Not worth the fucking money. Fucking idiots. And then
people treat him like a hero.
Vince Russo calls out Bruce Pritchard for how Mickie James was used at a Raw gimmick. He said at WWE Creative, cousin Brucey clearly misusing a legend like at Mickie James because her husband publicly stated that what we all knew about him would be the equivalent of punishing your 5-year-old daughter for blowing off her bedtime because she was waiting up to see Santa. You can see Russo's full tweet below at the Vince Russo. What do you think about this Vince Russo guy, Stevie? He running his mouth.
Man, I don't know about him. Those two other guys got to go.
Yeah, they're stooges.
Yeah,
he can be marginalized without him.
I don't like the one guy's fitness stuff. It's just stupid. He's stealing from another guy, bro.
Well, he steals a lot of things. He steals super kicks. He fucking does whatever he wants, apparently, and that's going to end. Ben, thanks for posting Mickie James versus Cherry Bomb on my YouTube at Ben_Hamin. Actually, a Mickie James nip slip in that match, if you know where to find it. You can go to Ben Hamin on YouTube, but that was a great show for us. We had AJ Styles. It was in Elmira. It was Christmas Chaos. I don't know if you ever worked on a show called Christmas Chaos. You ever heard that before? Or Jingle Brawl. Let's go to the Jingle Brawl. We had AJ right out of New Japan with the IWGP title, heaviest belt in the fucking planet. And he opened the show and had to leave. Then we had Mickie and Cherry Bomb on there as another big feature. And then in the main event, Shitty Six Man with yours truly in the squad versus Hacksaw in the squad. So it was a good time, man. That was a great show for us. We had about 1,700 people at that show and real great time. So go back and watch that on my YouTube, Ben Hamin.
You guys were fighting SEALs Team 6 with Hacksaw.
Yeah, it was right in there with them. And we went over. Good.
Oh, because a helicopter crashed afterwards. So
we did not go over. I actually got pinned in a dog pile pin in my 450-pound human shield, and then 200-pound, 50-pound other guy fucking fell on top of me, bro. And then the babies jumped on. I could just feel like an idiot. You learn only one way to learn, by fucking it up. Then Hacksaw fucking puts his hand on him, with the gimmick up. But dude, I can just feel my organs like spreading out of my stomach, like from where they're supposed to be.
That was a complete rib for sure.
Yeah. Well, I did. I ripped myself because I came up with the finish.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Stupid ass fuck. Further details on WWE's residency at Amway Center. If you sell 2 tickets to your friends, you can get a ticket for free. Amway, the resident first over WWE and Amway Center. During the residency, WWE having tapings on Mondays and Fridays beginning August 21st with Friday Night SmackDown. There'll be no public events and no fans permitted in the arena. During the residency, we're adding additional safety and cleaning procedures, including washing your ass and shutting the fuck up.
Wrestling promotions are always known for having clean standards, especially on the mats.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Give me a break.
Amway Center will be earning about $450,000 over 2 months with WWE using the arena. So,
really good move to do that. I kind of wonder if they had done like what Billy and Vince had talked about. They had a re-air of a previous episode that they did where they talked about going to the boardwalk in Jersey or doing an outdoor show like that. I just have to wonder if that kind of stuff would look better than just going to the Amway Center. I know they're doing this Thunderdome virtual experience thing, but I really have to wonder, a bigger, emptier building. You have to think
with no fans, so they're going to knock off the AEW look identically now.
But the thing with the AEW one is they're doing it in the open air stadium part, that Daly's place or whatever, right? So you're getting reverberation, you're getting a certain atmosphere. Plus the fact, are you going to put pyro at the opening of the show? I mean, AEW is not a great show, but I know in the opening it looks exciting with pyro going off and stuff like that. It's like, oh shit, this reminds me of a show with a crowd. And they are pumping in crowd volume on the stadium speakers, and it sounds more organic than just pumping in crowd volume. Do you agree with that? Yeah, no, these are the fans.
These are the fans.
You close the thumb, you're now ratings don't matter.
Oh, okay.
See, that's
I haven't gotten it down. That's why I didn't get the call.
Don't think there wasn't a 2-hour meeting with a memo just about this to this. They know how to spend their time.
This is a stooge off. The new leader to be revealed of Retribution, former Right to Censor leader, Stevie Richards, in charge of Retribution. He got the hand signs right, and now he's coming back.
Actually, because they saw me, they know that I also fix computers and stuff and could put things back together. So obviously, you can't be in Retribution without repairing the damage you've done. You're the most thoughtful terrorist in history. And also, they know that I know the value of the production equipment, so I will point them to the cheapest stuff to break. So
why not? Say, or if we're insured, break that shit. Somebody else unhappy. AJ Styles responds to speculation. He's unhappy in WWE. He says, however, during his latest Twitch stream, AJ totally dismissed those rumors, questioning why would he be unhappy? I'm unhappy being Intercontinental Champion. I'm unhappy. What? What do I have to be unhappy about? AJ asked. We all understood what happened with Hamin. The problem with everything that happened is that the lie happened, the blatant lie. I really don't want to harp on anyone anymore. What's done is done. He said on Edge's return, I don't need to read all about Edge's return and AJ's opinion of that because Edge isn't back. He's gone already. Yeah, man. I think that's just a work. I think that he's been ready to fucking go, and now they're throwing Joseph Park in the mix with him to keep him happy, which I like. You know, Chris is awesome. You've worked very closely with him many times and been able to be on maybe 4 or 5 indie shows with him, and always look for his counsel and have a good time with him too, man. But I think they're gonna try and appease AJ any way they fucking can at this point because he's had enough of this biz.
Yeah. Well, listen, we got our crew in the chat room right here, right? So I want you guys to clip this about 1 hour and 36 and 42, 43 into the show. AJ, you know what you're going to be unhappy with? When you stop ducking me in Madden and we play and I crush you like I did all those nights after TNA tapings at the DoubleTree. When you walk by the bar and everybody was getting drunk, but we were both focused on getting business done. And I remember when I would score almost every time on the opening kickoff, I would run back for a touchdown and you would get up and go frig, 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 and throw the controller on the bed.
Is angry.
You want to be unhappy? Fire up your Xbox or your PS4 or whatever you got. Turn your stream on and see how the chat room turns on you when I crush you in Madden.
Damn. You want Friday veteran locker room shots fired? The gauntlet has been laid down. The IC champ is about to get censored. Hard way.
Right. And on a side note, ESPN NFL 2K5 is still the best football game ever made. There we go.
Oh, that was great.
I'm willing to lower myself to play Madden to crush you and watch you cry in front of your children.
Awesome. I can't wait to see that coming soon to Twitch. A very tearful AJ Styles beaten once again. I hope you run it back on him in the first one too. What's your team and what's his team?
I have the Eagles. He has, I believe, the Falcons. Oh, by the way, I want to be here. Clip this too. Xavier Woods. You live in Smyrna, Georgia, as well. I'm convinced. Here's a conspiracy. I'm convinced that you created the coronavirus so people had to be quarantined so you couldn't face me face to face in person in the outside in public because you too would get crushed in Madden.
Damn.
You wouldn't have me in your up, down, down tournament with people like your boy Seth Rollins and other people, because you would be crushed too. And if you had children, you would cry in front of them after I beat you as well.
I'm loving this new Hamin out Stevie Richards. I will crush you, infidels, or Madden dreams. Go and get yourself a Polish sausage and sit on the sideline like Madden, because that's about all you've got left once Stevie runs it back on you. What do you think about Pat McAfee? Do you think you could beat Pat McAfee?
McAfee, actually, I commented, he came out with the Madden ratings. Mm-hmm. And I said ESPN NFL 2K5 is the best football game ever made. It got like 900 likes and like 400 comments. And then I am commenting on each and every one of Pat McAfee's things. Like there's a famous thing about Troy Polamalu and the C gap. It's kind of just a meme at this point. So he was talking about the Adam Cole thing and the Triple H thing, and I said I've wrestled for over 28 years, and I'd still rather do that than face Troy Polamalu in the C gap. Got like 300. I mean, that's my thing now. I just put in my little C player comments, I guess you call them, the thing.
And they're the most important lines in the scene sometimes.
Yeah.
I dropped an essential as fuck Pat Buck on his Instagram the other day.
I think Pat McAfee is taking this more seriously than most people on the main roster and on full-time status, in the best shape of his life, doing good business, willing to actually be a heel, even though he's one of the most popular podcasters and people creating content right now. And he's actually got more crossover appeal than most people do. Mm-hmm. And he's able to work. I watched his workout video. He's actually, dude, he's going to make a lot of people that made this their career look pretty bad.
Well, I'm trying to find it real quick here. Sorry. There's so many chats that I get.
All right. I'll continue on. Now, he's done good business. I was a little afraid that it would affect him and hurt his brand as far as Pat McAfee, which is a very, very over brand right now. He just signed multi-million-dollar deal with FanDuel. He's doing WWE a favor. They're not doing him a favor. So he looks great.
Here's 2 days ago in his barn, the hustler Rip Rogers, Chopper Von Lilas, that's Rip's son, sitting next to him in red shorts. And forgive me, I forget the guy's name next to him, but he was an amateur Olympic level wrestler and went to OVW, became champ there too. So that's McAfee's training partner right now. And these guys are ready to go. That guy in black right there is Von Lilas. Hardest chopper in the history of wrestling. That guy, okay, you thought fucking what they did to Frankenberry with the kendo sticks was bad on Raw. That guy,
that's a great name.
Shout out Strangler Steve. But Von Lilas will do that with his bare hands on you, bro. And Rip will sit there and laugh the whole fucking time while your chest explodes. And McAfee's gotten it. So whatever little Adam Cole thinks he's gonna do to fucking McAfee after you've been in there with Chopper Von Lilas, it's a walk in the fucking park, bro.
And I like Adam Cole, and I think Adam Cole, even though overbooked at times, is an excellent worker. He can talk, but they haven't recaptured what he had in ROH, in my opinion, because I was firsthand witness to what he was as a heel in ROH, and I saw potential, but it wasn't cultivated and matured enough, and wasn't brought along. And I really am worried that he might have an injury, because the difference in size between him and McAfee, who is not considered to be a big guy by football or wrestling standards. Adam Cole, when I wrestled Adam Cole, we were kind of size-wise, I was still a little bigger than him. But if you stood me next to Adam Cole now, how much I'd probably look like I have 60 pounds on him.
Last night, McAfee's in the corner. They send in the Walmart goons, dressed fucking security, and Cole's laying him out like he's a big fucking badass. They look like high school kids, bro, like at the fucking chorus concert, and these fucking their sleeves off like he's supposed to be bowed up. Dude, Hacker, fucking, if you set out Hacker and fucking Congo Kong to stand next to those guys, they'd look like children. They'd look like fucking children. We're supposed to believe. Adam Cole, I haven't had a problem, nothing with him. I when you said the ROH work, I gotta take issue and disagree there. Sure, got the athleticism. Shawn Michaels, the littler version. whatever that's supposed to fucking mean, me not taking it seriously, but he's supposed to be the king ass whipper and all this kind of shit they want to tell us that he is. Let's go back to why I think Adam Cole's is the only reason that he's over. Because he piggybacked off of being the elite and suckholed his way in with the Bucks. And even if you go back and watch those, his acting skills suck in every one of those. He's the C player in the scene where they're trying to rib him. And when the whole shit with AEW was starting, he was a smart enough businessman to parlay that into going to NXT, and they acted like they were taking something away from the Bucks early on. And so I put him over for that and how he gets over. But dude, as far as can he wrestle and do awesome shit? Sure. Come in and do that shit on somebody who looks like a man. Not he's the epitome of everybody's in the locker room now. Can he hold it? Is he trained? Does he put the miles in? Yeah. At the end of the day, to me, is he believable? Nope.
No, I have to, I'll agree with you that he needs to be on the show, but not leading the show.
Exactly.
Hey, our conversation off camera, this is the kind of stuff I was talking about. This is something for everybody out there, a little teaser. This is the real stuff that we're talking about as we're doing the project that we're talking about.
Sure.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Because you just gave a point. I advocated for him, and I still advocate to some degree because, that urban legend, he's actually my little brother, which, I'll still. And if the AJ and Xavier Woods, if you guys got a little brother, be prepared to cry in front of them. I'm going to stick with that. 2K5 is still the best football game ever made. Go take a drink, chat room.
I like NFL Blitz 2001.
So the thing with Adam Cole, he's in a really weird spot right now too, because is this a one-off? Is he just going to go over on McAfee just to go over? And McAfee is immensely more popular. So what I would see here is I would almost have wanted to call a double turn in a way, even though Adam Cole's not really a full-blown babyface. I would love to see Bobby Fish and O'Reilly either turn on Cole, go with McAfee, still give NXT the rub because they're with McAfee, and McAfee would be a fixture on the show, or just to some degree, there's got to be something thrown in there. Or Hunter comes in, costs McAfee the match, and now it's Hunter and McAfee down the line.
I think that's probably where it's going to go, in these one-offs, celebrity style matches. I know Cole can carry McAfee through, and I know McAfee's got the athleticism. We'll see if the timing's there, how rehearsed it is. I don't think they're in the same spot doing stuff because he was just in Indiana training with Ripper. So I kind of like that it's not a big, let's walk through it 100 times. You know what I mean? But the believability of these guys, I've worked with Fish. I've worked with, what's the other one that looks like he's in college?
O'Reilly.
No, not him. The short hair. I never get his fucking name right. He looks just like every goddamn.
Oh, he could be here for a while.
That boy that ever was. He's the fourth one in that group.
Roddy. Sorry, Roddy Strong.
You could pick any two of those. I'm not trying to say wrestling's phony and a shooter. We got to do whatever. But I look at them, aside from maybe Fish, because he's Muay Thai, whatever, and Riley claims that he's got skills, whatever.
Fish looks a little more like a man just because of his hairstyle, the facial hair. He looks like the handlebar mustache that I don't know if he still has. I see what you're saying with that.
Pick two of them. I'll fucking fight them both in a shoot, and I feel like I'd still come out on top if I fought them. Any two combo of two of those guys, I feel like I could take them. And the fact that I say that in my mind is not cocky. That's me looking at them on TV going, how am I supposed to believe these guys are going to fucking dominate anybody? A Keith Lee, a Killer Cross, a fucking whatever. It just is more too sweet me, bro, click shit that's being force fed that is never real to me, bro. Never.
Tough spot. I wonder if they booked this backwards. I'm assuming not. I'm assuming they're trying to figure it out right now.
Who will be the leader of Retribution? Seth Rollins on developing his current character, communications with Reigns and Moxley. It's really been in earnest 6 months, 7 months or so now. I'm just starting to dig my fingers into it and mold it to what I want it to be. Rollins said, it's been a blast. It's been different for me, a different role for me than I've played in the past as well. Not just in the ring, but behind the scenes. Time will tell where it ranks, but I'm having a lot of fun with it.
We know it's fake. We know that you're not really this character in real life. This is part of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
How am I supposed to suspend my disbelief when you're telling me, hey, guess what? If you plan on investing 3 hours Monday to watch me do this character, I'm going to tell you right now. It's fake. Don't waste your time. I'm just playing around. I'm having a time of my life. Yeah, we beat them with kendo sticks. We don't really mean to. That's not me. Dude, are you hearing this as I'm hearing this interview?
100%.
Don't bother invest. You don't emotionally invest your time in me because it's all phony. It's not really me. Dude, Pat McAfee's doing a better job of making his character believable, being a fucking mark that doesn't belong in the locker room than you guys are.
100%. I can't stand that shit, bro. Do you think you're over? Because he was fucking Adam Cole. He was Triple H light, the boy, and then fucking Game and HBK get pushed down there to make it their own thing. And now he's up there after all that, got his head all gassed up. If he's that much of a pro and he knows that being the Dragon Slayer, the King Slayer, the Dick Pick Slayer, the Architect, Iowa's Own, the Man's Man, the Messiah, Underwear, Fruit of a Loom Boner Champ. If all these monikers, not one of them stuck in your run and you have to keep switching it, that's telling me that you don't have any dedication to a bit. You can't get anything over that people are going to know and bite on long term. And you're also unsafe in the ring and hurt people and take liberties. Where else am I wrong in this? And you really don't even have commitment to a character. You're just sinking your fingers in and getting what? Oh, I'm going to wear this woman's jacket with fun fur around the collar and no shirt on. That's going to really get my character over. They're going to understand it now. But next week I'm going to come out in a skinny suit and look like a Scientologist. But the week after that, I'm just going to focus on the black hand of the mafia glove. Next week I'm going to be Jesus. I'm going to be CrossFit Jesus. What the fuck, dude? Like this shows that you're not a good performer, that you think you're at the top of the chain and in WWE rankings or PWI bullshit, you might be, but in the reality of when people go, I'm the best in the world, that guy, I could look at him and go, you're not even the best in the fucking room in this locker room go home meeting. You're about maybe number 14 on the list of great workers in here who get it and can get shit over just because some smart boys go, fight forever. You fucking got your mind gassed up. Fuck out of here with that. And he's a prime example of that delusion of I'm the fucking king of this shit. And I'm having fun with it. And we're getting it now, dude. Like from Punk to him, cut from the same cloth, bro.
I didn't plan on making this comparison, but I just want to say, like, even the most ridiculous things, which, I'm trying to put this the right way. So Seth Rollins and people who watch a Seth Rollins promo or people who watch Seth Rollins do anything, do you react in any way? I did a stupid little promo on AJ Styles and Xavier Woods about a game of Madden. You all reacted like, oh my God, but actually believed, dude, Stevie's going to play fucking AJ or Woods in Madden, and I fucking want to see it. Something stupid as inconsequential as that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was believable. You see there was some place it could go. And you believed what I said because I do believe what I said. I could beat them.
If he's a Messiah, what is he doing? He's not converting people.
That's
He's not
what
healing anyone. He's doing nothing that the monikers fucking say that we're just supposed to, it's a new shirt moniker, buy it. Like they did a good stained glass Jesus thing of them, buy it. And the rest of the fucking shit doesn't matter. The creative and all this little shit, dude. Iowa's fucking own. Fuck Iowa.
Or Idaho. See, Vince can't be in control of the nuclear football, because if he wanted to destroy a state, he would get it wrong.
Well, one of those.
Idaho's own.
Destroy
We
them
should
all.
create Idaho's own and then put it in pro wrestling tees.
Just so bad, bro. So bad.
Oh, come on. Are you going to get to these girls, man? I got to hear this promo. We did it on Russo.
Oh, I didn't even bring it up. All right. So
I need to, dude, because I need to bring up, you can bring it up, but I'm going to bring up the serious part. And even though we did it on the premium Realm Network show, Raw and SmackDown review, this has to go out to just about anybody you can reach, because I think there is a PSA involved in this.
Yeah. I'm not here just to tear people down for whatever, because there's no real fucking, I don't know. It's not a good look, right, for anybody. I'm just trying to find these to bring them back up here. 1 second.
You didn't favorite them?
No, I just have so many fucking photos after going to my clients' shit that it's tough to find sometimes. Where gallery? No, I need screenshots. There we are. All right, so you guys know her, you love her. It's Havoc and it's Jordan Grace. This is Jordan Grace's Instagram story. Come on, camera, catch. There we go. So here they are in whatever days in on a bed, that hasn't been changed the sheets in 3 years or whatever, in her new Adam and Eve gear, and Havoc I'm fine with, because she has to play the heavy all the time. And for her to get to be sexy in whatever goth way she can, I'm down with that. And she usually doesn't pimp this stuff out. But here we have Jordan Grace, a known feminist who wants to hold people's feet to the fire and fucking get her all the shit in, with her ass out, trying to promote this sexuality. And, I can be an empowered woman. Next swipe on her goddamn thing is a PSA, don't send unsolicited nudes, where she screenshots some tape trader masturbator who sent her something. She says, "You think sexual harassment's okay, huh?" He puts, "I love you so much. I screenshot this and I'm sending it to all your friends." "No, don't do this," he says. "Too late. You're a fucking sicko. Screenshotting your followers list and I'm sending it to every single person on it." And he puts, "I'm married, please." She puts, "Should have considered that. Good luck. Samir Q, 1994. In the same Instagram story, she is fucking putting out unsolicited half nudes. And then this guy, who's probably, like most wrestling fans, unstable Mark, you know what I mean, in some marriage where he's falling for these thirst traps, is now doxxed. And who knows what ripple effect that's going to fucking cause in his life for doing something stupid based on you chumming the waters for sharks. And then when you catch one, you go, "I didn't want to catch a shark. Why is this shark here? And why is it biting at me?" This double standard hypocrisy, lower level sexual thirst trap, treat me like a woman, or treat me like a man, don't treat me like a woman bullshit that you want to subscribe to. But then in the same fucking click, you've got your ass out and you're wondering why this shit's happening. You cannot be an insta whore and the vice president at the same fucking time like they want it. And I cut them no quarter here anymore. This speaking out Me Too shit that they hoard out while they want to fucking do this type of stuff, where I'm going to trigger your DNA and sexuality. But then when that happens or spins out of control with somebody who's not stable, I'm going to dox them and possibly ruin their life. You're so fucking ignorant to what could happen to you in your safety bubble. You are trying to get money out of people, wrestling fans, who are always, some are bottom of the barrel, a fair amount of them, and don't have the thinking capacity to separate reality and whatnot from what they want. And here we have, this is on the day after the heels of the Sonya Deville attempted kidnapping, rape, or whatever this fuckface is going to do. And you're out here messing with these guys and now doxing them. You could fuck up this guy's job, his family. All he has to do is go load the fucking 38, get in the car, and come find you. You're not smart with this shit. It is not just the hypocrisy alone of how you're treating men and thinking you're fucking tap dancing on them and getting over with. You are putting your stupid little life in danger multiple times a day, from misogynists who aren't even involved in that and are seeing the double standard, to the people you're actually fucking with and fucking up their lives thinking it's cute, where you're trying to act holier than thou and respect me as a woman. Now check out my fucking camel toe and don't get a boner over it. That shit is done here at Hamin Media. Anytime you do that, I'm going to fucking dox you, Trish Parker, Jordan Grace, and your name will be out there for the hypocrisy of it because it ends here. You won't ruin any more lives with that shit, or you'll stop with the Adam and Eve and the sexuality and go down if you want to be an empowered woman, feminist. I've had plenty of feminist, strong women bosses who I've learned tons from, tons of respect for them. They're not out there going, you know what? I need these done, these layer comps done, and we got to get the vinyl graphics up before the promotion goes up. But first, what do you think of my thong and my ass crack? Could you tell me about that? What do you think? This looks good? What do you think about my sheer see-through bra? Okay, that's good, but make sure we've got it because we've got that board meeting at 4 as we talk about the next year's budget.
Don't be distracted.
What the fuck are you idiots thinking? You're not thinking at all. You're greedy, money hungry, and exposing yourselves as half whores, which we all are in this wrestling business, but you're not going to not get called out on it anymore based on you think you're safe because you've got a crotch that fucking a kid can come out of and no one can fucking touch you because of that. Those days are done.
100%. You know, it's a very dangerous game that they all, not just her, and there's no real level to say, well, this is okay, because you said the people on the other side of the computer or the people on the other side of the OnlyFans or the Amazon wish list or social media. Like Sonya Deville had hundreds of messages from this guy that went to her other folder. She didn't know what he was up to. He had said he was going to decapitate her and the people that she loves or something like that. He was planning all the above.
Yeah.
And she had put nothing out there and interacted with him in no way to provoke him or give him an idea that fantasy will become reality.
Yeah, she's an out of the closet lesbian. Like, let's make it even harder to land some pussy without trying to take it. Meanwhile, you've got the opposite here with these thirst traps, bro.
Well, there's also let's not even, we joked with Russo because he has an Amazon wish list. There was years and years ago where I heard the women in the TNA locker room talking about their wish lists and all these other things. And I'm like, somebody's going to show up at your door. How do you buy? Well, he bought me these shoes. He bought me this. He bought me a new TV. He bought me all this stuff. And every bit of this, all I'm saying is that bill is going to come due. It's the age old thing of guys taking a girl out on the first date and spending tons of money. I know that's beyond society right now with everything we're going through, but the guys in that position that are spending a ton of money are looking for a return on their quote investment. I don't know. That's just like, I look at that like there's no such thing as a free lunch. Yeah. Somebody's going to want something back.
Yep.
And we appreciate people help contribute, but they do get content in return. They do get entertainment in return. It is an exchange of something. This thing is a whole different level. When you're sexualizing yourself, or you're promising an intimate kind of interaction in a way, and you don't think that's ever going to turn toxic or it's ever going to turn into something unhealthy.
Being a marketing CEO
or fatal. Let's say fatal too.
Fatal absolutely could be, dude, because you're dealing with unstable people, and they know that because they're thirst trapping to get perverts, and then they go, "How dare you be a pervert?" Well, what the fuck? What are you expecting? How do you want to be taken seriously as a branding officer and you're out here doing ass cheek bikini pics every other day? And then you close down your DMs. I don't know why I'm getting all these salacious dick pics all the time. Like they know exactly why. And they want to play dumb. And if you are that dumb, well, you definitely don't deserve the respect that you fucking want to claim that you deserve. You don't deserve it at all, dude. So this is just going to keep spinning. And in the lunacy of the bubble of the social justice woman, AEW is inclusive for everybody. Whatever pronoun you want down in here. Oh, but then inside the bubble of a safe space, let's make an even safer tone deaf space where we segregate women and push the men out and make them feel like they can't be inside the fucking women bubble of AEW as well, and what goes on there. But it's strictly for the women, but it's $50. By the way, you got to sign up for $50. So they're just so empowering each other, and they believe in each other. But as long as you pay $50 to be inside the segregated bubble, you're not fooling anybody, children, especially grown-ass adults. Fuck. Oh, was that good enough for you, Stevie?
That was great. It needs to be said. It needs to be addressed. And this is one of the things, our project. This is a talent relations aspect. What do you think Callis and Demore are thinking? What do you think Ed Norholm? Do you think they're even aware of this? I mean, I'm sure they are, but
yeah.
Do you see what I mean? Like, or do you think they have? Well, what was your thing before?
The other thing too with this, sorry, Kylie Ray. It comes down on Swinger with or Stooges, supposedly. We don't know for sure that they didn't want she's against the Rizats, right? Of what have you, saying that and objectifying women. That was last week. In this same day, Kylie Ray is sitting on some old 1989 crusty ass gray couch at a Days Inn in a fucking bikini with an over the shoulder, come hither look while she shows her ass, or else she was sitting in that corner staring into a shitty gray painted corner for 5 hours. Well, which is it? Are you trying to over sexualize, but at the same time want to be treated like a respected woman? But meanwhile, we're doing spank bank fucking pics for OnlyFans because Jordan and fucking and Havoc were doing it, and it's cool. So which way do you want it? Don't objectify women and treat us fine. Don't say the word Rizats and fuck up that guy's push, whose whole thing is a throwback that way. And now he's got to fucking deal with this new 2020 fucking do as I say because I'm the woman and you respect me. But hold on a second while I show my ass so these guys can fucking jerk off over here. Just complete ignorance.
The reason why Swinger's so over is because I'm convinced fans want to have some of that come back. The entertaining, just free, like free kind of, he's having fun and he's being a little goofy, but it's just a callback. The reason why he's the most popular character on the show is because I think people are so turned off and just want to be entertained. It's just entertaining bullshit. That's all it is. It's comedy. But you had made a prediction before that with the way when the speaking out movement was here, and this is a continuation, these incidents, you said eventually, like, what if her contract's up? Do you think Demore and Callis are going to renew it? Do you think they're going to like go back? Maybe they feel trapped right now. What can we say to her? What can anybody say to any of the young talent? You can't offend them by telling them their match sucked. You can't offend them by saying you can't be putting this shit on the internet or on social media. So maybe it's just a quiet type thing. And when she's done, they just never call her again. And you said before, the women will eventually, in your prediction, be eliminated from the locker room and you'll get your one show a year and that'll be it.
I'll tell you why. I can tell you one show right now, even if it happens or isn't happening on 12/20/20 that she won't be on. And I'll make sure of that. Like, dude, no, there's no promoter with half a brain in their head would book her because the wrestling is mediocre at best. And then to back that up with the possibility that she's going to pull that shit they did on Sandman and whatnot with Tessa, where they all stood together. How'd that work out for you, sticking with Tessa? That's a good fucking look. Like they want to do this SJW young 20-something shit instead of knowing that they're in the mafia. They're workers. The rules are different. You don't get to bring this outside shit in here to change it. It's going to be a new day in wrestling where everyone's all inclusive. No. You're going to run your mouth. You're going to bury yourself. You're going to fuck up other people's business. And then you're going to do something stupid to show that you are in the mob and that you're an earner, like these fucking pictures where you're shilling your sexuality, but everything else you set up before that, where we had to stay quiet because it would have brought heat down, that shit's done with.
Well, it's no different. It's no different than Seattle. the Chaz, with the chop, whatever they're calling it now. You basically, what happened with these people, girls, and there are guys that are involved with this mindset. You're trying to destroy the wrestling mafia or whatever you call it, or the structure or infrastructure or the hierarchy or whatever you want to call it. But you're employing the same, if not worse, tactics than the initial model had. Like, that's a mafia. We're going to cancel you and starve you out if you don't agree with us.
To go where? To go someplace with no plan, just the wide open, free, accepting everybody. Well, we talked about that when it comes to Raw Underground and the litany of strippers that Lance Storm has requested to make sure everybody's fucking subculture is represented equally in the stripping community.
Very important.
Final story of the day. Bill Goldberg, 53, revealed in a recent interview that he will continue performing in WWE for at least the next 2 years. Just don't expect to see him wrestle again in 2020. He says, I'm contracted with the WWE for the next 2 years. I've got 2 matches per year. I'm exhausted. My limit this year, quite early on April on the 5th with WrestleMania, under these really weird circumstances. Goldberg added to the mix in February, defeating the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, to win the Universal Strap in Saudi Arabia. Yeah. He added, my commitment is still going strong at 53. I would never imagine, especially after making fun of Flair when he was doing it in his early 40s. Oh, good rib. And follow up with that, I heard or read that it was from Khan to, who was it? They wanted Cody downed it, and Khan had pitched it to somebody, and they backed it up saying, oh no, it was Khan to fucking Cornette. Cornette put this out that he had talked to Khan, that Khan was pitching to do the whole Goldberg run again at age 53 and have him go undefeated again, dude, in AEW. This is the level of booking that they're thinking at right now, dude. How fucked.
Well, I can see if you present it as the Goldberg's final run and then putting over a young talent in the end.
He's got to go 147-0 or whatever.
No, that was manufactured, but I'm just saying the Goldberg's final run, and you put the roadblocks up. But you have to have a strong heel character that he has to work towards. There's none that exist.
It's got to be Brian Cage or
it's a retirement tour like Terry Funk had 7 times, but it is the final run. So for the next year, every week on TV, Goldberg has these, you build it up again. There's a way to do it, but here's the whole thing with that. You need to have Goldberg work 52 times in a year. He's getting, this is our project once again. He's getting $5 million for 2 matches. How can you possibly add 50 more matches on and pay him $45 million a year? I'm just saying, why would he do it?
And why would he jump over there to go over there and do those squashes? That's just Khan living in 1996 still, man, and just not ever booking anywhere, not knowing anything, not getting it, and just ridiculousness. Spearcross says Goldberg versus Warhorse equals ratings. Put them next to each other. I'm pretty sure Warhorse will be exposed as very small. Who was the one fucker who was on the gas there from MLW we saw? Jesus Christ.
Hammerstein or
Hammer.
What's his name?
Hammer that shit into your veins is what his fucking name is now, as far as that dude. The pipeline is so open, dude. I mean, look at the Bennett picks, fucking Cardona. Like, these guys are somebody has got a pipeline in the independent 90-day future endeavor wrestling scene. Heath Slater, they're just all fucking,
maybe that's their severance package.
Maybe 90 days of gas. But y'all, man, there's a couple other things we could shoot on. Obviously, you guys know about the Sonya Deville crazy shit that way, and we'll keep an eye on any updates as it comes down through the weekend. But it's the biggest party of the summer, Stevie. Sunday in the parking lot or at the Amway. Either way, you got to sell 2 tickets to get on the show.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch the highlights.
Or the lowlights, as we call it. We'll see who'll be around afterwards, if Lana makes it out past that, or If Mickey comes back to TV at all, I don't know, man.
She's better off stay home, build a studio, make your music, take their check every week, and enjoy quarantine away from WWE.
And then you can come not work the 2CW show if you want to. I'll make sure you're on as well. Well,
just before Christmas, there should be a Christmas terror surprise or something happening.
If there is a Christmas, Stevie, ever again. But you don't need to wait to get the gift of fitness. You can go to StevieRichardsFitness.com right now and join make a band new you. Join the fitness revolution. We're all doing pretty well with it, especially during quarantine, man. I got a great SRF workout in last night and ate salad for dinner. Brutal. And where else going down today? You getting ready to get the Madden fired up just to make sure when the shoot drops, you're ready to go, or what?
Oh, I don't need to practice for those two guys. It doesn't matter. Actually, I have I got a couple headset mics coming in, one from Saramonic, one from Rode, that I'm going to test out. And I'm still planning to do yoga content on the YouTube channel, but also the beginner yoga series will come to Stevie Richards Fitness before the end of the year. Probably, you know how I am. I'll try to release it as soon as possible, but I'm shooting for the new year people to do that. So that's, yeah, I mean, Tony Khan could book Gilbert versus Marco Stunt. That would at least cost him a lot less money. So, but yeah, StevieRichardsFitness.com, 12 and 16-week resistance band training programs. We do have stock of bands and anchors and stuff in, so you're able to get them pretty close to, you know, the where you order them rather than waiting 2, 3, 4, or 5 weeks. We don't carry pre-orders. We don't say back stock order and you'll get them when they're available and you can add them to the cart and check out. They'll be shipped out to you. So I don't want that kind of mess on the back end of the site. Want to thank Dynapro. I haven't done this in a while. I want to thank Dynapro for being an excellent partner. Matt and Donovan and everybody there handle all the heavy lifting of the customer support, the returns, the warranty exchanges, and just the shipments and all that stuff. I just create the program. So it's a really easy partnership for me. I appreciate that. Want to plug another thing we forgot to do again this week. Lisa Torch has 2 cookbooks out. So, you know, we talked about with Stevie Ray last night about all this stuff and everything going on, but you can control your workouts. You can control your nutrition. She has 2 cookbooks, the Nash Vegan one available on iBooks, and she also has the Fit Vegan one available on Amazon. You can get it on Kindle. If you have any device or a computer, Amazon Kindle, and even iBooks, I think you can get on Windows as well. But a grand total for 2 of these, $6. $5 for the Nash Vegan, which is 64, 65 pages, and then the Fit Vegan one is not as big of a cookbook, but 99 cents. So $6 for 2 cookbooks of recipes and everything that are just excellent. And it's an Amazon bestseller, by the way.
Awesome, man. I'm so proud of her. Obviously a huge supporter of Hamin Media Group and the Conspiracy Horsemen she's been a guest on. Huge fitness supporter with Stevie Richards Fitness as well, and one of our top sergeants here. She's phenomenal, and I'm glad to see that she's pushing herself at any age that you can see, and helping others out there with what her success model has been, which is what Stevie and I try and do in all things. So happy to see Theory Girl producing more, and you know, once you get that first one out there, you know the process. I'm excited to see what else she's going to do, man. You can't stop her. So
well, here's the funny thing about that too, just to give people a little inspiration. We gave them a lot of sad and tragic stories, or potentially tragic ones. Lisa would come as someone trying to get back into shape, find herself. She was completely lost. She had lost her husband, you know, to cancer, and there was a ton of things going on in her life. And the beginning of her road was coming in and taking the yoga classes. When she did turn things around, and with the encouragement, not only me, but all the people in the class around her, she took that and decided to take the inspiration that was provided to her and build a brand to inspire others.
Awesome.
That's what I'm saying. When you're looking at somebody, you don't have to be just like them, but you can be inspired by what you're seeing with them and create your own niche and your own brand and your own business or whatever you want out of it, your own podcast, whatever it might be, because you have the 5-star podcast search. You don't have to do the locker room. You don't have to do Conspiracy Horseman, but you can be inspired by the models that we use or the way we interact and say, I want to steal a little bit of that, take that, use that. And now you have your show. And that's what our mission statement with everything we do is, to not corner the market, but create multiple other markets from it.
Very well said, 100%. Just getting those lines in different ponds for opportunity to catch who knows what, big fish is going to swim by, and your life can take a completely different direction. But if you don't do that legwork, you're never going to have the opportunity. You know what I mean? And she definitely is, and has really put in the time, and not just an overnight thing. She's really worked at it, and anything that's worth its weight is going to take that grind, that 3 to 4 year grind. I'm going to keep trying to work on my business, Stevie, and get this podcasting thing down. But I think this week we had a pretty goddamn good week here at HMG. From the Monday locker room, Impact Attack was a great show as well. A lot of fun, obviously, last night with Stevie Ray, a huge milestone show for us as well. A great guest. And then this locker room, possibly one of the most hard-hitting and best ones we've had. I know Next Level Podcast was great. Thankfully, there was no AEW last night, so we get that off this week and give Sil a little bit more rest. But everything is just working so well with the producers and artists and video clippers like Al Plaja and Kaz here. We couldn't have dreamed that we'd be here a year and a half ago to have this many hands on deck and everybody really pushing themselves and pushing their limits and capitalizing off of it. And you guys can too. That 5-star podcast star search that we're doing here, Hamin Media, taking them up to 7th of September, Labor Day weekend. So like Stevie said, if you're a pro at something, I don't care if it's Legos, pickle and peppers, or whatever it is, man, if you got something interesting to say, make your content great, submit it, and you never know, you could be our newest affiliate in this contest, because we've got the built-in audience, you've got the star power alongside you. It's a huge opportunity where you're not starting from the ground up, and you can be built in, and we want to help you artists create and bring the artist out in everybody. So that's what we're trying to do here at Hamin Media Group. Follow them on YouTube, Hamin Media Group. We're trying to get those numbers up. That helps us immensely. You already know it's Hacker Hamin on your iTunes, hackerhamin.podbean.com on your FM dial. What else do I got on? ProWrestlingTees.com/BenHamin always. I know they're working on some Culture Vulture shirts and other fun shit that way. Maybe a Planet X Division Championship shirt coming out soon. But we're just going to keep producing all weekend long. It's the biggest party of the summer here at hackerhamin.podbean.com. Now, excuse me while I go take some unsolicited, tasteful nudes and share them with my wives, infidels, here on your Friday locker room. Yalla.
Adios, amigos.